I think we did it. Yay. I have my camera all weird because it keeps showing my wall for some stupid reason. So you're going to get a little cut off me, I guess I should say over here. Hey y'all, what's up? Vegan Heretic, I see you. Lambretta, Martin, Marissa, Vegan Anthem, what's up? Vegan Kaz, Tessa, no injustice lasts forever. It's good to see you guys. What's up? All right. Well, I'm Vegan Stoner Lady, and I want to know why you're not vegan. Veganism is, hey, what's up? Veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So individuals that can feel, that have their own experience of emotions, just like you and I. And because I don't want to be enslaved, regardless of my intelligence or who I'm related to or what I look like, why would I do that to others, right? Reciprocate that same kind of respect that I demand. So I want to know why you're not vegan. Yeah, you can have vegan chicken. I feel like vegan chicken has been down for a long time. Like, it's good. They've gotten it. The seasoning, the texture, it's good. And we've got so many different sources for it that are not sentient beings. We also have vegan steaks that are just as delicious next to some mashed potatoes. Blurry. Vegan burgers rock. Yeah, so this must be all the children. Oh yeah, also here YouTube. Cajun. Oh, I love the seasoning of Cajun. Let me give you guys, let's see, request up. So if over on the YouTube side you want to come over here to TikTok and hang out with us cool kids, you can. If you're not vegan, you think you have a good reason for not being vegan, I'd love to talk to you about it. Let me pull out my guest list here. I see we have 2 requests. Give me a moment. I got to catch up. All right, so you have to be over 18, and if I even suspect that you're not, I will drop you because I just don't want to talk to children, right? You can hang out in the chat, but I'm not going to talk to you on a live. It's TikTok rules for one, but two, I don't feel comfortable talking to kids. They just always are trying to push their boundaries. So let's take a second. All right, Corbin, are you over 18? Are you over 18? You have to unmute yourself. I'm not going to leave you up here unmuted. Okay. Green. Hey. Oh, no. Okay. Emperor. Hi, are you over 18?
Meat tastes good.
You can eat vegan meat. Poked. Are you over 18?
Yes, hello?
Are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yes, I am.
So, are you vegan?
Yes, I am, actually.
Oh, okay. What's veganism?
Veganism to me is, you eat pork, cow.
Mm-hmm. So you're a child. Got it. Snowflake, are you over 18?
Yeah, you always know I love big meat.
Well, that's fine. You want to express your sexual preferences, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're here talking about the animals that you use. So I'm going to quickly go over what veganism is again, because it seems like a lot of people are confused. Veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of other beings. So because I don't want to be enslaved, I'm not going to demand others be enslaved for me. And I want to talk to people who think that it's okay to enslave others and ask them why they think it's okay to enslave others, but not themselves, right? Do you think that we should be enslaving each other for the pleasures, for for the benefits? Because I guarantee we can get a lot of benefits exploiting each other, but I personally wouldn't find it very fun or enjoyable to be exploited, right? The oppressors always gain benefits, but the oppressed always lose everything. Is that the kind of world y'all want to live in? So when you come in here and you want to pick a fight with rights movement activists, it makes me wonder, like, do you even want anyone advocating for you if you were being abused? Do you think that's fair that you be abused for someone else's pleasure and no one help you? Can you imagine how hopeless that would feel? So when you come up here and say that you're eating someone's body or that you're okay with eating someone's enslaved body, just know what it is you're defending and that you look like you're on the wrong side of history right now. You're on the side of the slave owners. I want to know, what's the morally relevant difference between us and other animals that justifies what we do to them? And if you're under 18, I just drop you, okay? Nathan,
Hello?
are you over 18?
Yes, I'm 20.
I don't believe you. Hayden, are you over 18?
Yes.
No. Koi fish, are you over 18?
Yo,
No.
motherfucker.
Jay, are you over 18? Jay, are you over 18?
I'm 55.
Okay. Are you vegan?
Nope.
All right. So why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I don't want to be.
What's veganism?
Nasty food and shit boots.
Why'd you come up here?
Because you was asking why I'm not vegan, because I don't like nasty food and I don't like shit boots.
So
I don't
you
like
came up
vegetables,
here
really.
as a, what was that? A 50-year-old man to make a childish 8-year-old comment? Are you proud of yourself right now?
That's how you choose to take it. That's on you. That don't affect me, my damn,
I
my
know,
dollar
because you're
either
only
way.
8 years
Do
old
you
in your
want,
head. So yeah, of course it doesn't
you
affect
want to
you.
talk about this or not?
I don't know if I want to have a
talk about why
conversation
people's
with
not
someone
vegan?
who can't be mature,
So
that
you
comes
wanna
up here
run
and
cry,
automatically
cry,
just
little girl,
starts to
run cry.
complain about his full diaper. Maybe call your nurse in to take care of you. You sound a bit fussy. I would like to talk to someone who wants to have a real conversation, not someone who's got poop for brains. Yeah, like that. Poop for brains. All right. Well, we're going to wait a minute because the children will get bored of waiting. And I'd like to talk to some real people. So, veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings, meaning that animals care about what happens to themselves. So, if you're on the side of Team Vegan, you are against someone kicking a dog for fun. If you're on Team Exploit Animals, you're on Team Kick Dogs for Fun. If you are on Team Non-Vegan, you're on Team Kicking Dogs for Pleasure. That is what you're doing. Vegans think, oh, that dog is having an experience, and that experience matters more than any joy or benefit I can get from kicking them, right? Non-vegans think my pleasure matters more than their experiences. Now switch out the dog for a cow, a pig, a fish, a chicken. Does it change at all? Can I kick fish for fun? Can I kick chickens for fun? Can I kick cows for fun? Or do they all feel? Do they all have a nervous system and a brain? They're sentient. They care. Just like you. Just like if you were able, or if you lost your ability to smash the keyboard right now with stupid, childish baby comments, right? If you lost that ability and were only able to care about feeling comfortable, would you think it's okay for other humans to exploit you because you're vulnerable to them and you can provide them benefits? You would still be conscious. You could still feel the sun and see things. You could still, be aware of things. You just wouldn't be as cognizant as the rest of us. Animals are not brain dead. They're quite intelligent. So again, if you support exploiting animals, and that includes farming them, that includes buying them as a toy, like a pet specifically, like I want to have a certain kind of dog, I want to have a certain breed of cat, I'm going to make two individuals grape each other so I can steal their babies, so that their baby is mutated in a way that's my preference, right? All of this is selfish. What does the victim deserve? What is in their best interest? That's what really should be your thoughts. I'm not accepting people up here because they're all children and they all just want to say the same thing, which is, I'm a child and I need help. My mommy isn't watching me, or my guardian isn't watching me. I'm very sad right now and very lonely and I need attention. That's what all these children are doing right now. How sad is that? We have so many kids not being cared for. That's terrible. Bad parenting right now. Bad parenting. These kids are definitely a reflection of their bad parents. Yeah, so veganism is actually one of the cheapest diets out there, and it's one of the healthiest. So if you genuinely don't want to harm animals, you can save money while also, preventing animals from being forced into exploitation. Yeah, exactly. If you don't know how to make vegan dishes tasty, that just tells me you don't know how to cook, because really it just comes down to seasonings. You can make really simple things taste really good. It's actually really easy to get everything you need on a plant-based diet. I will block you if you're inappropriate. I mean, it's just a fast track out of here. It takes me 2 seconds to block you. How long does it take you to make a whole new account? Is it really worth that time? Again, I'm just going to block you. I don't care if you have 10 accounts. I will block every single one of them. So why aren't you vegan? Veganism, again, this ethical stance against exploiting other animals. If I was talking against farming dogs, you guys would be on my side. What's wrong with veganism? Vegan food tastes great. You just don't know how to cook? How do you make, animal-based foods taste good? Because you don't eat them raw and you don't eat them unseasoned. I'm not going to debate children. I would like to talk to an adult. Okay. Well, if you really think that, then you can leave. I think most people agree that we shouldn't be exploiting each other if we can avoid it. Wow, so many hurt fifis. So when you come in here and you troll a vegan, oh, thank you. When you come in here to troll a vegan, it just tells me that you understand that you're the bad person. You're the one that's immoral. And you know it. You agree with me. But your pride gets in the way. Very prideful. And so you have to try to make me feel bad. See, like this guy right here, John. Look at him crying so hard. John Fillmore, crying so hard. Needs a hug. Can someone give him a hug? He needs a hug real bad. When you come at me screaming the loudest, that's how I know that you are hurting really bad, because you're like, oh, I really am going against my own principles, and it's just, it hurts. And because it hurts and I don't want to change and this hurt keeps happening, I'm going to try to hurt you so you're hurting with me. This is your fault that I feel this way. Well, if you stop using the other animals, that'll also go away. Then you don't have to bother me. Pretty simple, huh? Thank you for the vegan burgers. All right. I guess we'll go ahead and take it. Oh, hey, Axel, what's up? Oh, it's taking a while. Again, if you spam my chat, I'm just going to give you a fast ticket out of here. So, hey, what's up? I've got a lot of children this morning. Like so many children. It's
I've
ridiculous. Like, oh my God, get out of here.
I've heard, dude.
Yeah, it's
It's
frustrating.
like, holy cow.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys other than maybe go watch YouTube. Go to Bite Size Vegans, right? They have a bunch of great stuff for kids that helps you understand why I'm here instead of you just repeating whatever you heard your parents listening to on some random podcast, right?
Hmm.
Gosh, so many.
Also, I'm making a kid YouTube or kid friendly YouTube, not YouTube for kids, but a kid friendly YouTube.
Nice.
It's Black and White Vegan Gamer.
Nice. Oh, yes, I remember now. Yes, that's right. Yeah, go check out that with Axel. What's it called?
B&W Vegan Gamer.
Go check that out. We don't need you here. I don't want to talk to you here. You can talk to other peers that are, vegan. They can answer your questions, or you can ask questions in the chat, but you cannot come up here. It's first of all TikTok rules, and also I don't want to talk to you. I have no interest in talking to you. All right, I guess we'll go ahead and try one. I don't have high hopes. TRX, are you over 18?
No.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the honesty at least. Jason, are you over 18?
Hello. Yeah, I'm 19. I was born November 18, 2006.
Wouldn't that make you 20?
No, 19. In
Oh,
November, I'll be
November.
20.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome up. Are you vegan?
No.
Why aren't you vegan?
Because I grew up as a non-vegan. I've eaten meat my whole life.
Okay. Let's say you found out that animals are sentient, care about what happens to themselves, and that you don't need anything from them. Would you agree it's a moral obligation then to live vegan?
I wouldn't say it's an obligation because I don't really see animals on the same level as other
Well, what's
humans.
veganism mean?
It's like not paying for anything that uses animal products or any animal byproducts.
That's a side effect of it, but veganism actually is an ethical stance against the exploitation of fellow sentient beings against other animals. So I don't want to demand someone else be enslaved because I don't want to be enslaved. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but animals aren't like humans, so like you can't really see an animal the same
So
way.
why is human slavery bad?
Well, because you're exploiting another human being against their will.
Okay, so why is that bad though?
Because I wouldn't want that to happen to
Right,
me.
exactly, because you're
You know?
experiencing life, right?
Yeah.
So do you think that other animals are experiencing life?
Not in the same way I
Do you
am.
think they care about what happens to themselves?
On an instinctual level, yes.
I mean, instinctual level, what does that mean?
Basically, that's how they're programmed. They're programmed to survive, to want to survive.
I'm also programmed to survive like that.
Yeah, but you have other
So
other
let's
priorities
say
in your
I
life.
lose all my sapience, which is the ability to think about complex thoughts. So I'm just sentient. All I can do is
Yeah.
care about being comfortable and avoiding harm. Is it okay to exploit me now?
Are you a human?
Yes.
Or no, because you're a
What
human.
does that matter?
But like, I'm not going to feel the same way towards a cow
So
or a
it's about
pig than
your
I
value
do-
system, not about our inherent value system that we care about living.
Yeah, my subjective
So
value
you
system.
are okay
Yeah.
with human slavery as long as you don't know the slaves.
No, I'm not okay with it subjectively. So
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is what you're talking about is a value system. Like I could say there's a fire. There's a baby and an old person in there, right? Who are you going
Right.
to save?
the baby.
Okay. That's your value system. Does that mean that you value babies more than old people, that you're not going to respect old people?
I mean, it means I value babies more than old people.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're going to now disrespect old people when you're not in that situation, right?
Right,
So
right.
regardless of your value, your external value to others, shouldn't your respect be more like, I care about what happens to me. People should respect me because I care about myself. Why shouldn't you respect others because they care about themselves, not so much what you think about them?
I respect animals like to the point where I wouldn't, like punch a pig for my physical pleasure. However,
Why not?
when we eat animals, because I have nothing to gain from doing that.
Well, yeah, you can get exercise.
Yeah, but I know I can get exercise from other places.
Exactly. Even though you might be able to get some really good exercise beating up a pig, running around, right? That's going to take a lot of full body exercise. You have alternatives, and that pig feels. And if you have alternatives, the moral choice is to not go beat up the pig.
That is the moral choice. I can see where you're coming from with that, but that would only be applicable if I value the animal enough to the
Again,
point
it's
where
not about your value. It's about the pig's value of themselves. They are experiencing that beat. They don't want to feel that, right? That's why it's immoral to do that to them.
yeah, but a pig is not as complicated
So it's okay
as
to beat up pigs.
you or I. Like you're speaking purely morally?
Yeah.
Morally, no.
Okay.
No, it's
I
not.
agree. I think it's immoral to beat up a pig, especially when you have alternatives.
But it's not the same as eating
Why
a pig.
not?
Because when you consume a pig, you are gaining nutrients.
When I beat up a pig, I'm gaining benefits of exercise.
Those exercise benefits are not the same as
Do
the
I need to
nutrients or the
exercise?
You could
sustenance I
eat the
get.
pig after you could eat the pig after you beat it up till like it dies.
Yeah,
and
maybe
then you
beating
eat
it up
to
gives
get
it
the
more
nu-
flavor.
Wait, but that would just be cruel because you could just end the pig's life like quickly if you wanted to eat it.
So the whole point is that you do care about the pig's experiences, right?
No, I just
Then
can't.
why
I
is
just
beating the
it
pig
doesn't
wrong?
because it doesn't. I don't agree with that
But why?
morally.
You're just
Like
begging the question. Tell me why.
all right, so just to clarify, you're asking me why I think it's not okay to beat a pig, but I do think it's okay to eat a pig, right?
Yes, why is it wrong for me to get exercise beating up a pig?
Because you don't gain
I
anything
do. I gain
meaningful
exercise,
from
yo.
doing
We've
that.
been through this multiple times. They're just like a punching bag that
Okay,
runs away
okay.
from me.
So let's say
Yeah.
what's it called? Let's say what's that word?
I don't know.
When you like
Hypothetically.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
hypothetically, let's say I agreed that it was okay to punch a pig. What would that mean?
That means you're
like,
okay.
If
That means that you view someone as a something and you're not caring about their experiences. You only care about your benefits.
right, but to an extent, that's how non-vegans feel about animals,
Yeah.
right? We only care about our
Benefits. I think
taste pleasure
most
that we gain from
non-vegans
eating
actually
the
aren't
animal.
aware of what they're doing, to be honest. Most of them are unaware because I talk to a lot of people and they don't even understand what animals have to go through in order to be used. So I don't think most people are aware of what they're supporting. But those that are aware, yeah, I do think that they are saying my pleasure matters more than their suffering or their experiences, their loss of freedom.
And if someone were to like admit that yeah, I'm a selfish person.
That just sounds to me
and
like a
I
racist
value,
saying, yeah, I'm racist, whatever.
but it's not the same. Or you can't compare
It's
racism to
speciesism. You're literally using an arbitrary trait to justify exploiting and violating someone, which it's arbitrary. It means nothing.
yeah.
You're saying because your DNA is slightly different than mine, even though you still care about what happens to yourself, I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to use you for my benefits. That sounds like an oppressor.
But
that's what oppressors
that's
do.
how all humans feel to some level.
I don't care about all humans. I'm talking to you, Jason. Why do you think it's okay to do might makes right? Do you really think that if someone's bigger, stronger, and smarter than you, it's okay for them to do what they want to your body?
Whoa. You said if somebody's bigger or stronger than you means he can do whatever he like that. No, obviously
Then
not.
why do
But
you think it's okay to do it to other animals?
Because they're not
Dude,
humans.
what the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You're
not
literally just
valuing-
going in circles. You keep
May I
begging
ask?
the question. I'm asking you why, and you keep saying, because human and animal. Why? What is the morally relevant difference?
There is no morally
There is
relevant
not.
difference.
You're right.
I agree with that.
There is none.
Yeah.
So it's just you
Yeah, but my
as an
justification-
oppressor demeaning your victims so that you feel better about exploiting them. That's all this is. This is all coping mechanisms.
I feel
It's
nothing with
coping.
eating
You're
them or not
coping with
eating
the
them.
fact that you're violating someone, much like a
How am I
grapist. A
coping?
grapist wants their pleasure. They're going to ignore the suffering of their victim to get what they want because they think they deserve it. And that's what you're doing to other animals. You're violating their body for your sensory pleasure, right? And ignoring their experiences to get there.
But if I'm aware of what the animals are going through, I'm not ignoring it,
Okay,
nor
that
am
just
I
makes you
coping. I
more
just
psychotic, right? That means that you're okay with someone suffering for you.
but it, all right.
Unnecessarily. You can opt out of this is why I'm here. I'm here to tell you this is the system that has been set up, but you don't have to support it. By living vegan,
No,
you
I know
don't demand this.
I can make a conscious moral effort to go out of my way to buy to buy vegan products, right? I just feel like because I don't have that inherent capacity to care
You
about
don't
the
need to
animals,
care about
if somebody
them.
were
You
to
don't need to have some emotional connection. Nothing needs to happen other than you realize I wouldn't want that done to me. That's it. You literally don't need to be an animal lover to be vegan.
if I was a cow or a pig and I was getting abused the way they are getting abused by humans, I genuinely don't think I would
Do
care.
you think that we should
It
keep
is just how the world
birthing
works.
individuals into that system to be groomed into depression so that they're more okay with their death? Do you think that's okay to do to people?
Wait, sorry, can you repeat
Do you
that?
think it's okay to birth someone into existence on purpose that you know you're going to beat them into submission so that they're going to fight less when they get unalived? Because you're basically
It's just an
what
efficient
you're
way.
talking about is we're forcefully bringing animals into existence to take their life, and we abuse them because it makes the process cheaper and faster. We can get them where they need to go, and we can
Yeah.
get them the size we need them when we need them that size. We can get them to have babies when we need them to have babies. So it's not that we're being cruel just to be cruel. We're cruel to them because we've now objectified them, and it's like either they're an object or a someone. And right now they're an object.
Yeah.
And honestly, if they're an object, then why have high welfare? High welfare is honestly oxymoron. I don't understand it. If you
What's high welfare?
like big farms and really decent feed and cuddles and all these great things before they lose their life.
It's just to sell the product better. Like you can say that this is high
That's what I'm
quality
saying.
beef or
But
whatever.
those animals
Yeah.
are a someone. So when everyone goes, I'm against factory farming, I'm against abusing animals, well, then you should be against using them and exploiting them as well, because their experiences still matter in those situations too. And you,
All right. I see where you're
so
coming from. I
let me
just
put it this way. Do you know about supply and demand? Yeah.
yes.
So every time that you accept these packages, the reason why I'm talking to you is because they only put those packages there because you buy them. Those animals are only there because you give their oppressor money. So if you stop, there's at least 100 to maybe even 300 animals with your name on it. And if you stop supporting this industry, they aren't born into existence. They don't have to experience all of this suffering just so that you get 15 minutes of pleasure. And like, that's a huge power that you have. And I want you to know that you can take advantage of that. I have like a resource right here, and you don't have to call yourself anything. Just get informed. And, I'm sure you're a good person. Most people are. Just do the right thing and you'll feel better about it.
Would you say that fish have the same amount of sentience as cows and pigs?
Yeah.
All fish?
Sentience is a on and off switch. There's not a spectrum of how someone experiences something. Like,
So you would say like a tuna is equivalent to a cow or a
So
pig.
sentience, again, it's an on-off switch. You either are experiencing life or you're not. Then beyond that, there's like sapience, the ability to like think about thoughts, right? There's intelligence. Maybe there's different ranges of that, but sentience is on off. You either are or are not experiencing life.
Okay, I've never really thought of it that way.
Yeah. I mean, some people might use consciousness and sentience interchangeably. So you might hear people say levels of sentience, but sentience just means the ability to experience life. And anything beyond just experiencing life is just talking about intelligence range, And I don't care how unintelligent I am, I still want to be respected.
The way you say that the animals want to be respected, the animals don't feel that
I don't
themselves,
think they
though.
think in their brain, I want to be respected, but I think when they experience something uncomfortable. I think they know what unfair feels like. I think they know what uncomfortable, what pain feels like, you know? So that's, even though they may not understand things to a full extent that like I do, like I said, this is just intelligence. That doesn't mean they can't suffer. That doesn't mean they don't care about what's happening to themselves.
All right, I'd like to ask you a hypothetical.
Could I add something to
Oh
that real
yeah,
quick?
sure.
All these things that you guys just talked about are inferences. Like we can only infer sentience. We can only infer how intelligent somebody is. We can't actually prove this intelligence. We can only gather evidence and make an inference or an educated opinion based off of this, right? So I don't even know if you're sentient. You could be lying about everything that you're like feeling right now. And I could be lying about everything that I feel right now. We don't know, right? There's no proof of this. However, this inference comes from two things that is really important that I want you to think about. Animals have a brain, they have nerves, right? Or maybe not all, but most animals have a brain and nerves. So if they have those two things, we can make the inference that they are sentient and they have this ability to feel, right? Whether somebody thinks logically that they want to be respected, you would have to look that based off of actions, right? Dogs, they might very well, or cows, they might very well actually think they want to be respected because they will display whether or not they want you to be around them or not. You don't actually know. So, but anyway, go ahead and ask your question.
All right. So my hypothetical was, if you saw a lion, like two lions, right, and one lion was going to unalive a deer for food, and the other lion was going to unalive a human for food, would you shoot and kill the lion to save the deer, and would you shoot and kill the lion to save the human?
That is not a vegan question, but BSL can answer that for herself if she wants.
Is that not vegan?
The issue with honestly answering these kind of questions is that you're not vegan and you're just trying to play this kind of hypocrisy card right now. I would answer it if you were vegan, but you're not vegan. I don't want you to tokenize whatever answer I give to make some excuse that you should use animals. Because I feel like that's what that question
No, I'm
is
just
for.
trying to.
Because you're trying to put me in
I'm
a
trying to
position
see.
to harm an animal, to be like, look, a vegan harmed an animal.
No. I'm trying to see where you like how highly you value
what does
animals.
my value system have to do with your choices?
Because your value system will show me the level you're at
Again,
compared to the level
what does that
I'm
have
at.
to do with your choices? You know what's right and wrong. I'm just telling you, animals feel. They don't want to be harmed, right? They want to avoid harm just like us. You don't need to use them. And now it's up to you
No,
to
I know.
live your life how you want to live and figure out how to do that without exploiting others.
I know that that being non-vegan is ethically incorrect. However, me choosing not to eat animals doesn't, like, my choice doesn't have to be based on morality. It can be based on something else,
Whatever
right?
you want to do,
And
just leave sentient beings alone. That's it. That's all we're trying to advocate for.
all right. So you're not going to answer the question
Well,
then?
are you vegan now?
Well, I can reduce my what's it called?
That's
My
the issue.
meat
You're still
consumption.
seeing a someone as a something.
Yeah, you can't really change how somebody sees
You're
that,
right.
though.
I can't.
Right?
But I
Because
can
I'm
tell
19.
you, like, as if I'm talking to a racist, right? I can be like, that's another human, right? They're feeling, they care about what happens to themselves. And that's all that matters. And you don't have a right to put your purpose onto that being. That's what I would say to a racist. I'm telling you, as a speciesist, you have no rights over that other being's autonomy just because they look and think differently than you. And I think you would agree.
Yeah, morally, you would be correct. However,
Well, so you're literally just telling me now that I have to make you not be racist. How can anybody do that? I can't make you not be racist. You have to do that yourself.
All right. Well, it was nice having a conversation
Would you be
with
willing
both
to
of you.
watch a documentary?
I've already watched it. I've watched Darius Scary. I've watched Dominion. Yeah,
What
I
happened
watched
in
both
Dominion?
of them. Well, it showed that Dominion was like a 2-hour documentary. It showed where basically the whole process of unaliving animals and the dairy industry showed how. You want me to describe it, like the
I
scenes
mean,
in
I
there?
just wanted to make sure
Or
that you
no?
had seen it, because I'm kind of curious how you could watch that and say, yes, I'm okay with supporting that.
I mean, I grew up on farms, so I did that
Yeah,
myself
but what if they
as a
were
child.
dogs? Would you say that that's okay?
I mean, yeah, they're both animals.
Well, I mean, you're consistent, I guess, in that sense, but see how you're forgetting about that they feel, that they care about what happens to themselves? Would you want to be in that position? Would you trade places with any of those animals?
No, well, obviously not. But
Why
like, if I
not?
was in that position, because I don't want to die,
Do you
right?
think they do?
I mean, no. That's why I said instinctually they don't want to die, though. That's just
Instinctually,
how it
I don't
is.
want to die. And just because it's instinctual for me, that doesn't give you the right to take my life.
No, I don't have the right. However, humans as a species have the ability to, and we've
That's called
monopolized
might
them
makes
in
right.
order
Do
to
you think we
feed.
should continue that? Like, let's put it this
Well,
way.
this
Let's
is
put
why I
it this
asked
way.
that
Let's
question to
put it.
begin
There's a
with.
hitman, and he's going to take out someone already. He's already got his victim pointed out. He's going to do this regardless. You
Yeah.
might benefit from it. Are you going to give this person money to go do the pew-pewing? They're going to do it anyway.
No. No,
Okay,
because then
well, that's
I'd
exactly what we're
contribute to
talking
that.
about. Veganism is literally saying, I don't want to support that system. Regardless of if you have any huge effect, I don't want to support it.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
So if you
You were also
agree,
bragging about being a hitman. Like, just to let you
that
know,
what?
like, you were like, yeah, I'm a farmer. He was also bragging about being a hitman because he was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I used to do that. I grew up on a farm.
No, I
So,
wasn't
yeah.
bragging. I'm just saying, like that's how we grew up, basically in the South. So
Well, and we're not here to like judge you for that past. It's more like why would you be able to justify it from here on out, knowing that these animals care about themselves?
it's just how the world is, really. Like,
So when we go
I
back in
just
time when humans were enslaved, do you think that those that were not enslaved should have just put their hands up and said, "Oh well, this is just the way the world is," or should they have fought to end slavery as soon as possible?
yeah, they fought,
I'm
right? The
asking
same
you what
way
you
if
think
the
should have
animal,
happened.
well, they should have fought. Like the people who were
What do
enslaved
you
should have
think us
obviously fought for
activists are
their.
doing right now?
Yeah, you're fighting for the
So what
animals,
side of
which is.
history do you want to be on?
Wait, what do you mean? What side of his?
So
Like either
back in
the
the time of
You're
human
a
non-veganism view?
slave
slavery,
master. Yeah. You're a slave master or you're not a slave master.
Yeah, but these two systems are not
they're
analogous.
very
You're
similar. You're
comparing.
robbing a
They
sentient
are.
beings of their freedoms and their autonomy.
Yeah,
They are.
they're like farming is slavery of animals. It's not that they're analogous.
No,
Farming is slavery of animals.
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, the difference between slavery of humans and animals would be that one are human and one is an animal. But
Well,
that
humans are animals also, are they not?
not well. Yeah, humans are higher level animals. That's what I'm saying. That
Higher
difference
level based on what?
based on
If you judge an animal based on how far they can smell, humans are pretty low level.
based on intelligence.
Oh,
Based
based
on
on
intelligence.
intelligence. Okay,
Yeah,
so do you think we should base on intelligence whether to enslave somebody or not?
purely. No, I'm saying based on the intelligence of the human of humans
Oh
as
no
a
no no no
collective.
no. Yeah, so you're saying based on the intelligence of the group, we should judge whether to enslave somebody or not.
Somebody as in who? A human? You can't enslave a human because humans
No, I'm
are.
asking you: should we decide whether slavery is okay towards an individual based on the group that individual belongs to and the intelligence, the average intelligence of that group?
Bro, I'm so confused. Are you talking about group as a species or group as a like
Whatever
selective group
group.
of individuals?
Whatever group we want, because at the end of the day, you just pick one random group called species and you say, well, that's the delimitation. Why is that a limitation? I'm sure you cannot answer that.
Because we are the
So,
highest. We have the highest
yeah,
intelligence on the
see, you
planet.
cannot answer. No,
What?
not every human being has that. No.
Yeah, but
Uh,
as a species, we are. I'm talking about humans as a species
but
compared
why
to
would we
other
care
animals
about the
on the
group?
planet.
That's why I'm asking you. Should we judge an individual based on the group that they belong to?
No, not an individual. No.
Okay, so why are you judging the individuals based on the group that they belong to, namely the group called species?
I'm not judging individuals. I'm judging animals as a collective.
No, you are judging individuals because I asked you, should we enslave a human being who is not intelligent?
No,
And
I
you said
said,
no, because they belong to the group of humans who are
yeah.
intelligent.
So if we found an animal that did not belong to the group of humans, we would be
Do you understand
obligated
what I
to.
just asked you?
You're asking me what makes it like okay to
Why is
enslave
it wrong?
an individual.
Okay, why is it wrong to enslave a human being?
Because they have their own subjective experience.
Okay, so would it be wrong that any animal who has a subjective experience to be enslaved?
No, because they're
Okay,
animals.
then why is it wrong to enslave a human being? Keep in mind that human being is also an animal. So why is it wrong to enslave a human being?
All right. As a human being myself, I can't see any moral acceptance
Okay,
with
that's not what I'm asking you though. Why is it wrong to enslave a human being? I never said that a human being would enslave a human being. For example, ChatGPT is far more intelligent than you.
right.
So would it be justified for ChatGPT to enslave you if it could?
If it could, yeah, it would be based on my.
Oh, so you're saying that if ChatGPT could enslave human beings, then it would be moral for ChatGPT to do so.
It wouldn't be moral. It would be acceptable.
Well, that's what justified means, bro. So would it be
It doesn't have to
moral
be
if
justified morally.
ChatGPT decides to enslave human beings? Would it be moral?
It wouldn't be moral, but it doesn't have to be moral.
Okay,
to
why
be
wouldn't
justified.
it be moral for ChatGPT to enslave human beings?
Because slavery is inherently immoral.
Okay, so then why is it moral, according to you, for you to enslave other animals?
No, it is not moral for me to enslave other animals.
Okay, so then what you're doing is wrong. Farming animals is wrong then.
I agree on a moral level. Yes, I agree with that.
Oh, okay. So then what you're doing is wrong on a moral level.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
So then why do you want to continue doing the wrong thing?
Because I don't really care about the animals.
Oh, okay. Well, if by that logic, if somebody wants to continue doing the wrong thing because they don't care about the victim, then they should just continue doing it, right?
That's why we have legal consequences to those actions. If we don't have a
but
legal,
if there are no legal consequences, then they should continue doing it, and that's fine, right?
it's not fine. Like I said, it's not morally acceptable. It's just
Are you
it's
trying
just
to
the
say
way
you
it
want
is.
someone to force you to be vegan? Because it sounds like you're like,
Yeah, essentially that's what
yeah,
he's
you're
saying.
like, this
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay,
Essentially,
no one
yeah.
can do that. No one can do that.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
the only one that can force your. Well, of course, we're not out here.
So you're not vegan?
That's not our goal. Is to force you to do anything. It's to notify
No, I'm
people.
trying.
Why does
That's why
somebody-
I asked that question to begin with, right? I wanted to
So,
see where
Jason,
you lay,
you-
like
you-
where you stood.
So you think that veganism is that you should be vegan, correct? You think you should be vegan, right?
Morally, yes, you should be vegan.
Okay, so you think you should be vegan, and when asked the question, why aren't you vegan yet? Because you just don't care enough about your own principles to follow through with them.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a shitty person if you ask me. But if you want to be that person, well, I don't think that I'm interested in continuing this conversation with you.
I want y'all to answer that question. That's the thing. I want to see where,
What
like, just how highly you value humans.
I can answer that question for you easily, Jason, if you want. I have no problem answering. And I'll tell you right here, right now, my family,
Yeah.
I would rather kill 5 of you than one of my family members.
Yeah,
That's how much
totally
my family
acceptable.
members. Yeah, that's totally acceptable. But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that I get to cross a line when there's no necessity and unalive you simply because my family means more to me. So even if humans mean more to you, it doesn't mean that you get to cross a line and unalive animals simply because you can.
Yeah, but you see what you're doing there. You're comparing me as a human to animals. Like,
Yes,
Word.
an
it's
animal.
not the same
One more
I'm
thing.
time.
comparing you,
It's
an
not the
animal,
same
to another
thing.
animal. And I'm comparing, and I just made the comparison. I understand you are very frustrated with the idea that somebody comparing you to a different animal. You are an animal after all. But the comparisons that I made wasn't between you and a different animal, was between the values, right? Like, for example, if I had a pet companion, they would still mean more to me than
Than
you
a random
would.
human. Yeah. That's because you have a
So
relationship with
then,
them.
but that again does not mean that when I don't need to, I get to cross the line and unalive you. Do you understand that?
I understand
It doesn't
that. Yeah.
matter. It does not matter what my value scale is. Because at the end of the day, you're not choosing between unaliving a human or an animal. You're choosing between unaliving an animal or not. That's the choice you're making. Should I unalive an animal or not? There is no scale to compare to. You're comparing unaliving an animal to not unaliving an animal.
So you're saying it's because I have the choice not to that makes it unjustifiable.
Exactly.
Okay.
Also, I like that talking on the legal standpoint real quick. So I'm going to just further nail this coffin. You were talking about that you want a legal system to where we are legally obligated to not enslave or unalive animals, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So if you have that desire, there's only one way to actually do that.
Yeah, well, the government, right? The government would have
No,
to.
no. Government runs off of people. Government doesn't make decisions just to make decisions, right? The only reason that Abraham Lincoln was able to make the Civil War about slavery is because there was people who were backing him up who also wanted, because he was a anti-slave advocate long before he was even president. Like he was an activist against the slavery of the Africans long before he even became president. However, he just didn't see that it was like him as president didn't think he was going to get any grounds by passing laws. He thought he would be impeached and stuff like that. So he had to find an opportune moment to actually make the war about slavery. So the only way to actually get these laws passed is by creating a popular opinion. So that comes with every individual being you to make that step yourself and reap what you sow. You can't just say, oh, I want laws to be passed that are more moral, and do nothing about it. If you really want these laws to be passed, you have to create popular opinion, and that is done by you actually going vegan yourself.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, imagine Abraham Lincoln having slaves and being like, "Oh, let's have a whole movement against having slaves." He would have got nowhere.
Okay.
So, after having this conversation, what are you going to do with this information? What's your next move?
Well, obviously, if I can swap out my cow milk for almond milk or soy milk or something like that, I could do that with no consequence to myself. Where the issue lies with me, though, is like, for example, if my brother buys me a non-vegan product, like, I see a moral issue with it. However, I don't care enough to not eat it.
If you were the
If you
victim, what
understand
would
what
you
I'm
want your
saying.
oppressor to do? Right? Because it's never going to be like, so for the oppressor, they're always gaining benefits from exploiting, right? There's not really an incentive for them to stop other than to recognize their victim is experiencing negative experiences because of these choices, right? So if you were the victim and you had no choice over this happening to you, wouldn't you want your oppressor to make the decision to stop regardless of their benefits?
Well, yeah, but I'm speaking from the perspective of the oppressor here. And like I said before, I just don't see the
Why
value
do
in
I
them.
have to sell you being a good person to you? Why do I have to sell it to you?
Why do you have to
Why
sell
is it my
these
job to
victims?
make you a good person? Isn't that your job to be the good person you want to be?
What defines a good or bad person? Isn't it my subjective morality that
That's up
defines
to
it?
you.
Yeah.
But you've
So what you
admitted
could see as being
multiple times you agree with the vegan principle. So this is on you. You're literally just up here spouting, I don't know how to help myself, I guess. Maybe what you need to do is join a group where you can actually talk to like professionals, like dietitians and other people that are experiencing hurdles that they're trying to get over. Like there's on antianimalnews.org, there's 10 weeks to vegan. It's just 10weeks.org. There's also actually Jake Lagatara came out with one called animaljustice21.org. So it's just another place for you to meet with other new vegans, to go through. You can actually talk about what you think about morality and ethics and, you know, other animals and why to go vegan. There's also Challenge 22. They have a professional dietitian that you can interact with. Would that be helpful to you?
I mean, I don't want to sound rude. I just don't care about the animals.
I mean, I don't.
Like, I don't care enough.
We're gonna end it here
I
because I
just
just can't do anything for you. I'm just gonna end
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But go to those resources I mentioned. You know, Challenge 22, Jake's. Gosh, I keep forgetting. AnimalJustice21.org. I always want to say .com, so I'm like getting my words all twisted. So .org, AnimalJustice21.org, Challenge22.com, 10weekstovegan.org. All of these are great options. If you feel like, oh, I just don't have that motivation, you need to go talk to the group or, you know, maybe rewatch those documentaries. Because I'll tell you, when I watch those documentaries, I do not want to support any of that shit. In fact, I want to get on the street immediately, start talking to people. Anyway.
It's so weird to be so apathetic towards animals.
It's
like,
easy. It's convenient. And then it's
yeah,
not in his face.
obviously, yeah, like obviously you don't care about the victims. It's pretty clear by now that you don't care.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't wait for an emotional care, right?
It's
Like
so silly to wait for that.
that's exactly
Yeah.
it. Like people are calling vegans emotional, but sounds like this person was just making an argument from emotion because he was saying, I don't have any particular emotion towards these animals, therefore it's okay to enslave them. Well, no, it's bad, but because I don't have any emotion, I'm going to continue doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, again, like I said.
Yeah, and at the same time, I thought it was interesting that when we pressed him, he was like, well, because I wouldn't want it to happen to me. And yet, you know, not understanding that the animals don't want it to happen to them either. You know, and just because they can't communicate it to you in a way that you want to understand or try to understand, it doesn't make it okay, you know?
Exactly.
And whatever happened to doing the right thing just because it's the right thing to do? What happened to that?
Oh, that's out the window for a while now.
It really is.
Clearly.
Like, why do I have to do it? I have benefits. Of course you have benefits. That's why you oppress.
Well, and I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, I mean, obviously there's free will. We all have choices, right? But what I always like to point out is that, yes, it's our choice, but it's not our only choice. There are other choices. There are kinder, more compassionate choices. And you lose nothing from making those other choices. You lose nothing.
I have a hand here.
You know?
I have the ability, and it would feel great to slap all the non-vegans.
Right?
But I understand that you're sentient and you care about what happens to yourself. You want to avoid suffering. And I wouldn't want it done to me, so. Hey, Keith, how's it going?
Hello, how are y'all?
It's good to see you. Also, Stasia, welcome up. Chip, lovely to have y'all up here.
I'm only going to stay for another conversation.
Okay.
And then
I'm excited to have you up here regardless. Thank you. All right, let's get...
Can we get some likes on YouTube and some subscribings? And come on, let's get those donations up also. Yeah, some super chats. Come on. If you're not donating 100 euros today, then you don't love animals. Yeah, you hate them.
Oh my God, yeah. I hate asking for money and such. It actually does help our group though. I want to be able to help cover our parking. We've been talking about it. The parking is just so expensive, $3 an hour, and we're usually there for multiple hours, so it adds up real fast. But anyway, thank you. Appreciate that. Camo.
I'm gonna.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna step down. I got to work on some editing and stuff like that.
Well, thank you, Axel, for being up here.
So much
Everyone,
for
go follow Axel if you're not following Axel. Follow all the vegans on this panel right now. Okay, do it right now. They're all great vegans, make great content, and they're on other lives often. Follow them also on other platforms. Go find them on other platforms, okay? Go through them all. All right, thank you, Axel, for being up here. All right, Camel Fleur. Hey, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you now. Are you over 18? Oh my gosh, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I can barely hear you. You're very, very quiet.
1 second.
Oh my gosh, guys. Chip, you gave me €2. Thank you so much. Mark gave me $5. Oh my God. Dubs in the chat.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you now. Dubs in the chat for Chip and for Mark. Thank you so much for that, guys. Oh my God. All right. So are you over 18, Camoufleur?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you vegan?
I used to be,
Oh,
formerly, but no
okay.
longer.
All right. Well, what's veganism?
The I was gonna say apprehension, but the rejection, in my opinion, the rejection of utilizing any animal products, consuming any animal products, participating in any systems that assist in the, I don't want to say unaliving, but I'll just say the destruction of animals as a species as a whole, their autonomy.
Okay.
I took myself away from those systems for a while, and I was just scrolling. Not to go on a tangent, but there were a couple questions I had for you
Okay.
guys,
Well,
if that's
real quick,
okay.
I'll let you ask your questions. I just want to clarify what veganism is so that we're on the same page. Veganism, as we're defending
hmm
it, is an ethical stance against the exploitation of other fellow sentient beings, so against other animals. We recognize the sentience in other animals and know that when you're sentient, you care about what happens to you, you avoid harm, you look to be comfortable, right? So
hmm
veganism is against the exploitation of those beings. Does that align with your own principles?
To a degree,
Okay. All
yes.
right. Go ahead and ask.
Kind of leads. Kind of.
I was gonna say you can ask your
Oh,
questions.
okay. My main question. Well, I was vegan for a while. I would like to ask a question. The main reason why I stopped was mainly because of opportunity. Uh, the amount of food deserts. Well, quick question: do you live in North America, or are you in a
No, I'm in
different?
North America.
Okay, just to make it as a wide explanation. I don't want to make it seem like it's all across the world where this is happening, but in at least in North America, I came from the East Coast. I'm not going to say specifically where I grew up. There was zero. The closest grocery store was so far away.
Mm-hmm.
There was very little healthy eating, and I guess the main question I wanted to say is that the only reason I became vegan, uh, after a while, it started right after I turned around 17. I realized that my health was in poor standing. I just got a few scholarships to go to school. I wanted to start my life over. I considered there to be a lot of issues with just not even how animals are treated, but how the system is self-perpetuating, really. Uh, Health was not good. Health in my wider community was not good. And the opportunity to have fresh, clean food that was healthy and good for you was also like a pipe dream in a lot of
All right.
situations.
I'm
Can't remember.
understanding. I think
Yeah.
the basis of it. I just don't want it to go on for too long here. I understand. You sounds like,
Yeah.
if I can reflect, you grew up in basically a food desert, and there were a lot of obstacles to overcome, including clean water. Am I understanding correctly? Okay.
Yes, it wasn't.
So I understand.
And can I just? Oh,
Well, I
go
was just
ahead.
gonna say,
Go ahead.
we
Yeah.
understand necessity in the sense that like you're trying to survive, but veganism comes from this perspective of viewing other animals as a someone and not a something. So it's not so much about what resources are available to you. It's more like you see that there's a victim and you're gonna do everything you can to not demand their exploitation. That's what veganism is. So there are people who are in survival situations who might have to cross their principles in order to survive, but that means there's a couple of things. Either there needs to be some fight for the justice of food equality, because honestly, everyone should have access to healthy foods. That's not an argument against
I agree.
veganism. That's an
Yes.
argument against the system
Yes.
being unjust. So
Very
yeah,
much.
so that's,
Yes.
I would still say people even in those communities can, still live vegan. They can still see animals as a someone and not a something. Personally, how it would feel is that every time you had to do something that crossed your principles, you would feel terrible because you know what happened. Someone
Mm.
lost everything for you. But I tell people that have to take life-saving medicine, advocate then for the ones that had to lose everything for you, so that there would be eventually a vegan option, because that's the only way that we really have vegan options is if we demand them. And we also have to fight for, sadly, our food justice, like I just said. So those, I would argue, those aren't reasons for you to not be vegan. They're just arguments to be vocal in our systems. Yeah.
Understandable. And to a greater extent, I would agree with you. I was really just scrolling,
hmm
and I heard some conversations. I was, not to make it again too personal, but the
Well, I'm
whole
here actually
situation
to
as to
talk to
why
you
I
about
turned.
your ethics. I want to know why. Like, are you in that same area right now?
Actually, after I got my scholarships ready, I left. I went to Morgan State University in 2016 in East Baltimore. I continued. Well, first I started off a vegetarian because that was easier for me, and then after about a year or two of that, I went to full veganism. I'm around 28 right now.
Well, so I want to know
I stopped
why did you
around.
even go? I understand that
Okay.
you didn't want to take their lives, but why did you stop dairy and eggs?
Well, truth be told, I wanted to. Well, one hand, there was a morality to it. There
Well,
was,
tell me
I
what the immorality of it?
understand.
Yeah.
If I understand, if I, as a sapient human being, can understand what is being lost, it kind of all ties into a lot of things. But I'm just going to make it succinct when I say that understanding, what's the word? I just said it. Perpetuation of certain systems that are disadvantageous, not only that, but also just borderline cruel to other living beings. If I can understand that with human beings, the area I grew up in was pretty broke. I grew up, like, I'll be honest, I grew up 10 minutes outside Southeast DC in Capitol Heights, Maryland. It was not a good place. The amount of violence that came from the inner city, a lot of people don't realize how dangerous DC was.
I don't want to
I had
stop
to
you,
leave
but
with my,
we are kind
Yeah.
of getting on a tangent. I want to know why you think eggs and milk are immoral.
Yeah, I was gonna
well, I
say
mean, if I
just
can,
that.
okay, well, the reason why it was immoral, in my opinion, is the idea of I can understand that it's not good for me to participate in the meat industry. If I can understand that it's not good for me to, if I've seen these videos of slaughterhouses, if I've seen these videos of chickens that can't walk, if I've seen all of these things and I've made the decision in my mind, okay, I'm not going to eat, meat, but I'll still eat eggs. It's like that's still part of the same system. I'll still drink milk. That's still
What
part
if
of the
it's not?
same system.
What if it's not? What if it's done on a small farm? Do you think that there's a problem with eggs then? Or milk? Let's go with milk.
At that point in time in my life, I didn't want to cut corners with my morals. I'll be honest with you. I still
No,
saw it as,
right
yeah.
now, what do you think now? If a cow is a dairy cow is on a small farm, is it okay to take the milk from her?
Nowadays, now that I'm back with my folks and everything, yeah, around my peoples, I live around a lot more farmland now. I got more comfortable around other animals. I
Why
did,
does a cow
yeah.
produce milk?
Mainly for its children, yes.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to take away the children so that we can take the milk?
Take away the children. Well, no, I don't think that's the best, no.
No. Do you think it's okay to impregnate the cow forcefully so that we can get them pregnant?
No.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to unalive the male cows because they don't produce milk?
I think that's immoral, yeah.
Okay. And do you think it's okay to unalive the cows when their milk production declines?
That is also immoral, yes.
Okay. All of these are standard practices on all dairy farms. Why exactly would you
Mhm.
be okay with any form of dairy farming then?
To the same reason why I understand there is no, what's the word for it? Now I'm losing it. The same reason why I believe that there is no ethical consumption under capitalism.
Oh, okay. So it's just a nirvana fallacy that you're committing. You're saying there's no perfect system, therefore it's justified to do whatever I want because the system is imperfect, correct? So might as well,
No,
you can
actually,
go ahead
hold on,
and
hold on.
grape women. You can go ahead and pay for child slavery. You can go ahead and, support the people who are grapists. At the end of the day, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, right? So you might as well give money to any form of a shitty person on the planet, correct?
I feel as if now we're taking a logical jump. I feel like you
No,
can
that's what you're
understand that.
saying, right? There's no ethical
No,
consumption
actually,
under capitalism. Therefore, you should pay Jeffrey Epstein to do what he does, to do what he did, correct?
that is incorrect. That is not what I said.
But there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. So then why not pay Jeffrey Epstein?
Just because you understand, well, I mean, just because you understand that the systems in which we operate in mostly the Western world, I guess you could say to an extent the wider world, but since you understand how the main system prevailing is a political is an economic ideology that encourages people to be as
What
cutthroat
does
as
this
humanly
have to
possible.
do? What does this have to do with your choices? You make choices that exploit
Yeah.
animals. You being in a system that forces you to consume has nothing to do with you choosing to demand the exploitation of animals.
It kind of, to a degree, it does actually.
How? Explain to me how being under capitalism for me For
Yeah,
VSL over here, for every single person on this panel, does not
yeah.
force us to consume animal products, but somehow you are under the same system and yet you are forced to consume animal products.
It's not that you're forced to do it. It's that there are certain situations where people are in where they don't have the necessary,
What
resources to be
situation are
able
you
to live
in
this.
right now?
The Well, right now,
Yeah.
if you want to get personal with it, I want to say about 2 years ago, my sister passed away. I was making $35 an hour in a different city. I was able to live the exact way I wanted to. I wasn't in a food desert. I had
So
a working car.
so
But
right
hey, hold
now
on, hold
is
on, hold
not
on,
two
hold on,
years ago.
hold on.
So what
Hold,
does any of this have to do with your choices to exploit animals? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be insensitive to your plight. I understand you're going through a lot, but I am genuinely want to understand why you choose to exploit innocent animals because you went through a lot.
the main thing I'm getting to is that the entire economic framework of this country has been angled in such a way that I'm not the only person that's had these issues. I appreciate you saying that you understand what I went through, but let me just say this. Not every single person has the ability to do such things that you have
But you
done with your.
can.
Now, hold on.
It's
It's
cheaper to
hold
be
on.
vegan. It's
No,
cheaper to
I'm
be
not.
plant-based.
See, you say
So
that, but in different parts of the country, it is sometimes not, man. And right now, I'm living in a town with less than 5,000 people that doesn't. This is basically a food desert. I'm helping raise my 3 nieces.
do you not have
I'm
access to pasta, rice, beans, chickpeas, lentils? Do you have does Amazon deliver to you?
actually, man, DoorDash doesn't even come out here.
I don't care about DoorDash. I never asked you
The
about DoorDash.
closest,
I cared
I
about
worked at the when I
Amazon.
was. Hold
Does
on, when I
Amazon deliver to you? Not DoorDash. Does Amazon deliver to you?
you want to feed a family of around 6 people just with stuff off
Does
Amazon?
Amazon deliver to you? Can you please answer the question?
I would say yes, man. Amazon does
Okay,
deliver.
so you
Okay,
can order on Amazon a giant bag of 60 kilograms of soy chunks, and that would last you for a year. And you could feed a lot of people on that. It's a pretty high protein meal. And all you have to do is go to the supermarket, and instead of buying flesh, you buy all the other stuff that you would normally buy. And if you need a milk replacer, you can just buy oats, put them in water, blend them, and then you make oat
make
milk
oat milk.
yourself.
Yes,
Yeah, like
I
you
do.
have solutions. It just sounds to me like you don't want to consider these solutions because you want to be in a position where you consume these products.
No, not necessarily, because for a while I was in a position where I was able to not work within this system. I was able to consume how I wanted to. But when you have the economic pressures, man, when you are in positions where you and hold on, when you are
Dude, I'm
in the
poor.
economics, okay, I understand. Okay, then you get it too.
I
But
get
do
it.
you
I'm
have this
vegan
many?
and
Do you have
poor.
people to
It's
take care
much
of?
cheaper. Yes, I take care of my parents. My parents went bankrupt. They lost their company. They lost their house. I don't only pay for their new house where they live right
Hmm.
now. I also pay for them to have enough money to eat. So me and my sister both pay for our parents, by the way. So we share the
Okay,
burden. But I can tell you that I have difficulty finding a job because I was a software engineer, and it's not as easy finding a job. I
I
don't
get
get
you.
paid as much. I every single month I make less money than I spend, and
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that everyone has having a difficult time. And overall, by the way, we have studies showing that it is cheaper to be on a plant-based diet. And I'm telling you right here, right now, that it would be cheaper for you to be on a plant-based diet. And yet you say that somehow your situation is special and different. Can you explain to me how? Because we even have people who are homeless that are vegan that have been on my channel, for example.
Okay. Well, are you okay? So one, I want to say that that does sound difficult. I can understand paying out of pocket for everything and being at a deficit every month. I understand that, and I live that. I can also understand that when you're taking care of 3 kids, when you're also helping your parents. Also, my mom lost her job after a while. She worked at the same place 20 years. They were racist, didn't pay her benefits or anything. She had to go through a court case. I helped pay for that as well. When my sis passed away, I had to take care of a lot of things, and I moved back down here, took a huge pay cut, sold my car even,
I'm sorry you're
specifically so
going
that
through this, but
but no, hold on. I know that's a lot, and I don't want to cut you. I don't want to talk too long, but I want to say the main point I'm making here is that even if our specific anecdotal experiences are one thing and we have to overcome things to specifically reach a goal that is less exploitation at the most, doing the least amount of damage we can to vulnerable parts of not just the population, but our environment. I consider animals part of our environment. They all play their own part.
But what does this have to do with you choosing to consume animal products? Because I'm lost. Again, it is cheaper to consume plant-based. It is. This isn't an opinion. I've been to the
But
U.S. in
ordering, I
several
need,
states.
but
Everywhere I've been, it was cheaper.
ordering plant-based food off of Amazon for an entire family while also helping pay
No,
mortgage, while also save, doing
I'm
all of
sorry.
that is
I'm
an
sorry,
entirely
but no, no,
different.
no. Just to
Okay,
be
that's
clear, I'm not asking
yeah.
you to order everything from Amazon. I'm assuming if you're taking care of a family, you are ordering plants and plant products, right? Like
I
you
do.
are
Yes.
ordering vegetables and fruits and stuff like that if you want to be healthy. So if you are
Yes.
ordering that or wherever you're buying that, keep buying that for wherever you're buying. And instead of buying flesh, I instead buy texture vegetable protein from Amazon or soy chunks, which are cheaper than any meat, and they provide you and keep you for longer. Like essentially you would be buying for $12. I just looked now, it's a
Yeah.
pound, and a pound can make like, I think, like 2.5 or 3 pounds. Makes it says on the package, makes 3 to 4 pounds of ground meat. So please tell me, where in US can you get 3 to 4 pounds of ground meat for $3 per pound? You can't. It is
I was gonna say, yeah, you
monumentally
can't.
cheap.
You can't
It's
do that. Yeah.
monumentally cheaper to be plant-based. But that's the thing about it, isn't it? A lot of us don't know about these things. But that's why I told you can order these stuff on Amazon. And I'm not even sure that Amazon is the best place to order. Like, I'm pretty sure that you might
That's
find even cheaper places to order it from.
you
But you
could.
will just get
That's
like, it literally never, like, you can keep it for a whole year in your house, and you get a meat replacer, which is high in protein, healthy for you, and there's no reason for you to exploit animals. If you really do care, which it sounds like you do, then why not accept these solutions? Like, if the problem is how to do it, we can help you with that.
that's another thing. The amount of information, because this is the thing I kind of wanted to allude to when I first started speaking, when I got to this panel. The amount of information. I'm not gonna sit here. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about my education, the things I went through at college. Things got dark for a while, along with a lot of other kids that I went to school with. A huge problem arose, and me and plenty of kids were homeless. It was not a good situation. But while I was at school, I did as much as I could to not just learn about history or diet, or like how diet works, or how these systems that work above us for centuries and centuries, specifically in North America, have been specifically retrofitted to keep people poor, to keep people unhealthy, to make sure that people don't have the proper knowledge or the resources or even the ability to look up these resources. So I would appreciate anything. We try to have at least 2 plant-based dinners per week. I don't try to, and that's purely because eating red meat all the time is detrimental to your health, not just to animals or as a wider system around this country, but to your health, like in and of itself. I went vegetarian and then vegan in my history previously just because I was very, very unhealthy. I lost so much weight in such a short amount of time, and I got healthier because health does start with your diet, not just exercise or anything. The main thing I want to get to right now when I ask this is, if we understand that the systems that we work within specifically reward people for doing the most amount of damage and making the most amount of profit, other than just telling people, hey, you need to do better. Hey, I know we all operate in the system and it specifically incentivizes you to be worse. What is the main thing that, what infrastructure can we make? What institutions can be brought up specifically so that people are aware that this is not the only option? Because for the longest time, I didn't know it was the only option.
Yeah, I
want to
get
come
what
into
you
this.
mean.
Yeah, I want to come into this
And
conversation like, open. I don't want to just talk as if I don't know anything, but also I want to hear what you guys have to say. I disagreed with a lot of what you guys said earlier, but I just want to have an open dialogue.
I can't tell you exactly how to fix the situation of educating people. I do think you need to use a proper judgment and not vote for fucking rapists in your government. And I'm sorry for the language.
I agree.
That's one thing. But what I do think is that regardless of what the system is, and none of us here want to point the finger at you or at anyone, and we're not placing the blame on you for the system or anybody else. What we're trying to explain is that in order to change the system, unfortunately, right now, it's in the hands of the consumers. Because if consumers demand more animals to be exploited, more animals will be exploited. And there's a lot of things to be changed about the system, a lot more things other than animal exploitation, especially in a country like US, where there's so many social issues.
Yes.
But But the problem is that, like, if we just take that whole thing on our shoulders and then say, F the system, I'll just participate in it. It's like, okay, but why? Like, there are parts of the system where you can choose to not be part of, right? Like, this is one of those. There are parts of the system that you would benefit from not participating in. It's not, I'm not telling you to change the system. I'm just telling you that in certain situation, you can choose to not be aggressive or violent towards the animals by making this choice. And even if you don't know, like, that's why we're here also, right? We're trying to educate people also how to do it, not just that they should do it.
And it can make a difference, understandably. I
Yeah.
mainly wanted to nail down that point, that the only way things are actually going to make widespread change isn't just by everybody changing, and isn't going to start by people just making individual decisions. There needs to be at some
Yeah, I think
systematic
we
level.
agree.
There needs to be systematic actual change. Because when I saw the amount of people that have adverse health effects, not just from consuming meat or the issues with I'm not even going to get into like climate change. I'm not going to get into how much it affects our environment. I'm just saying, even on a personal level, from individual people's health, this isn't panning out well for people. I try to have 2 plant-based, not even try, it's not hard. We do have 2 plant-based dinners every week, just to make sure that the kids know. My youngest niece is like 4, my oldest is like 15, my brother is about 17 years old now, and they're all used to not eating meat at least twice in the week. And I didn't have that growing up. We do live in a different area, and I wanted to come back home to help. And the main reason why I had to go back on veganism was because I just could not afford it. I am making slight changes now, but the main underlying point I want to make is that the only way actual systemic change is going to happen at such a wide scale, so that I'm not even going to talk about the FDA. There's so many pillars that are holding up the system
I'm
is
just gonna.
terrible.
You've been up here a
Yeah,
while. I'm sorry that everything's so tough,
yeah.
but you are right. There are a lot of hurdles. But where it starts is your mindset. If you want to not harm animals, you will find every way that you can do so. I do agree. There's a lot of systems that need to be fixed, and sometimes when you want to make a change, you realize that there's some obstacle in the way. That's when you realize that you need to speak up for these other systems as well. I don't want you to feel like you need to take on saving the whole world, but I'm just saying, like, you are exposing that, hey, we don't have food equality, right? That's another issue that needs to be addressed. But for you and your personal choices, right? You have the information. You know that animals feel that they don't want to be used, that you don't need to use them. You know that there are many resources now that you can look for. You can go on antianimaluse.org. There's actually something called the Vegan Daily Dozen. You can also look it up just in Google, Vegan Daily Dozen. Just Google that. Gives you a checklist on how to get everything you need on a whole food plant-based diet. So finding frozen fruits and vegetables, canned fruits and vegetables, those sorts of things that are inexpensive, beans, rice, some kind of seed maybe. But just check out that checklist. It's really simple, and you should have access to all of those things. And if you don't, there's Challenge 22. You can reach out to them. They have dietitians that can look at where you're at. Maybe there's something you're unaware of in your area that can actually solve all your problems, and they can help you do that. They can help you find all the produce and things that are within your budget that match your budget needs and your preferences, excuse me. Would you be willing to look into those resources?
I'd be willing to look into them, yeah.
Okay.
I'd never heard of Challenge 22 before.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It gives you free access to a dietitian that will talk to you about your specific needs and preferences, and then they help you find the products that meet that in your area.
Okay, that sounds
Cool.
good. I appreciate
Awesome. Well,
it.
if you reach out to them, we'd love to hear back from you about, what your experience was like.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
appreciate
it.
you.
Y'all have a good
You
one.
as well. You have a great day, Camo. Thank you for coming up.
Yep.
Thank y'all for doing that. That was a good one. Let's see. Especially because he has kids, he might be able to influence his greater family. All right.
Yeah, I feel so bad when we hear of people like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
People who genuinely want to change, and it sucks so much that every person we get will just be like, well, I like the taste of it, and then we get these people who are genuinely want to change, and then these other selfish pricks, they're so selfish that they wouldn't even consider the people who want to change. They just consider their own thing
Yeah.
because in them doing so, they disregard also the people that actually want to
Yeah.
change. They create demand against the people who actually don't want to
Yeah,
be in that
exactly. It's
position.
like this, there's like to the argument of like
But I
food
actually don't
deserts.
want to
Oh, you're a
debate.
child. So the argument for like food deserts is, you know, like more like, yeah, that's an injustice. And I think that's wrong that people don't have the choice to eat plants. Like that should absolutely be an option for everybody. That, and just because you don't
Yeah.
have that access, that doesn't now say, oh, I can't do anything. Guess I'll just keep using animals. There's still things you can do. You can still speak
Soy
up. Yeah,
curls.
and soy
Yeah.
curls. Oh my gosh, the fact that you can get like that many, I didn't even realize you get that much online. That's so much.
Yeah, I just looked it up now. You can get like a 192 ounce, which is I think a 12 pounds pack.
Wow.
But this is the fancy one. So you get 12 pounds for like $100, $100.
Wow.
And this one rehydrates to 3 to 4 times. So let's say 3 times. So you get 36 pounds of meat replacer for $100, which is
And
a
it's
lot.
so much healthier. And you can make it taste however you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was just gonna, tack in. It's just the sentiment of like anyone can be vegan. Not everyone could be like fully plant based in all situations at all times. But obviously within that breadth of like accepting and being vegan no matter what, then he can obviously advocate for and push for others to go vegan as like an absolute baseline, and then he can strive and actually like look into those resources, because like that would be the whole idea is like if someone walked over with $1 million right now and handed it to him, he'd be like, if he's vegan, he'd be like, oh great, I can definitely go fully plant-based now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? He would have
He has
all the access in the
resources.
world
Yeah,
required
exactly.
to do that at that point.
Yep. Exactly. Maybe that's something we should have asked. Is like, well, when you are in the situation of abundance, do you feel the obligation then to live vegan? That would have been a good question. Yeah. Well, I think that we still answered a lot of his questions, and if he does have any more, please feel free if you're still in the chat. I can't remember what your name was now. But thank you so much for coming up. And if you have more questions, please reach out to us. You can definitely private message any of us. We'll gladly answer any questions. Okay. Let's see if we can get someone else up here. Oh, also real quick, I just realized I wanted to read out the donations because I didn't even read it. So Chip donated almost 1 hour of parking, the €2. And then Mark had said, why is it that selfish, cruel, ignorant trolls have nothing better to do than confront the 2% of the world's population that is vegan?
So good.
Children, like just a group of them. So again, why is it that the selfish, cruel, ignorant trolls have nothing better to do? No, they're just children. And then Sylvia donated $20. Thank you, Sylvia. I think animals are more advanced than humans because they don't have an observable cognitive dissonance, which humans struggle with. could argue that it is a flaw. The option shows this opposition shows this human cognitive dissonance. Yeah, that last guy definitely had some cognitive dissonance, but it sounds like he wanted to do better. So he was asking questions. I don't know actually if that was the last person or the person before. So I'm sorry, Sylvia, if I misinterpreted what you said. And then Pandora donated. I'm so sorry, guys. I'll be done. Pandora donated, said a star for 2 jewels. 2 jewels. Oh my gosh, you keep throwing jewels at me. Little star. Thank you so much, Pandora. So please, dubs in the chat for that chip guy. Mark J7612 and Sylvia Fett. Please, dubs in the chat for all of them. And Pandora, last but not least, for all of those jewels. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate y'all. You're going to save us so much on parking. Oh my God. I'm sure my team, if they see this, are just celebrating. All right. No, Booger, calm down. I do not eat eggs. Just going to block you if you're going to harass me. That's not okay.
It was like a lame attempt at a gotcha, I
Yeah,
guess.
I guess. Yeah, no, vegans don't eat eggs. Yeah, calm yourself. It's probably just a child going da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. Duck the Rich. Hey, Sierra.
Hello.
Hey, Duck. Are you over 18?
I am 31.
Beautiful. Are you vegan?
I am.
Right on.
And I live in the middle of cattle country in
Oh,
Montana.
damn.
So,
What's veganism mean to you?
yeah. To me personally, I really don't give a crap about my health. It's all about animal welfare and the welfare of this planet, the only one we have to live on. And like I've eaten eggs like years ago because my friends had pet chickens that they don't slaughter. They literally are their babies, and they had eggs, and I was like, sure, I'll try one, but it makes me feel icky eating it now, like after being vegan for so long. So I really don't like to eat them. But I was listening to the guy who was, up here talking about the the food desert, and it just made me laugh a little bit because, I understand it. I totally understand it, but and I am privileged enough to live in a town with a Walmart, and there's a whole entire vegan section there. Like I said, I'm not a big tofu person. Like I think that is so funny when everybody acts like, oh, they all eat tofu
Blasphemy.
and grass
Blasphemy.
and
Chip's
whatever.
like, I
I
love
know,
soy.
I know. It has to be cooked just right for me to really like it. It's more of a texture thing for me. But I love, like the vegan burgers, the chicken nuggets, like I said, I really don't care about my health. Even
Yeah,
if
you
it
stepped
were
onto the
bad
wrong
for
panel
me.
if you wanted to hate on tofu.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We all eat like raw tofu sometimes.
Oh, that's my husband.
Oh, I
He's the
love
My
it.
one
off
who
account is literally called Tofu Whisperer.
brought me into
So.
veganism because I wanted to go vegetarian as a teenager because my boyfriend at the time sent me videos of a slaughterhouse, and I am a huge always from the time I can remember been an animal person over people. And so that kind of I was like, whoa, why did I never think of this? I've been eating steak my whole life, and look how it's, I think it's because we don't call steak cow
Right.
for a reason. And but my stepdad was an asshole, and literally when I told him I wanted to go vegetarian, he went and threw out all of the veggies in the fridge and then went and bought pepperoni pizza and steak and stuff, and he's like, oh, what are you gonna eat?
Wow.
And so
Sounds like a
and
great
after
guy.
that it was years, the cognitive dissonance was definitely there. Years and years went by where I just continued to eat animals, eat, dairy, all that stuff. And then I met my now husband, and he had been vegan for 6 years before, and he's from Missouri, another, cattle country, chicken farms everywhere. And his dad actually works in a chicken processing factory, and he worked in a chicken processing factory for a year, and it made him sick. He's like, the things I saw in that place was horrific. And so, I still, when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, I craved McDonald's hamburgers and all this stuff, and he was kind enough to kind of oblige me. But after I saw videos from Joey Carbstrong, he changed my whole perspective. My husband had been trying at that point, just having conversations with me and whatever, but never pushing it. That's the other thing that makes me laugh, is when people are like, oh, vegans sit there and judge everybody and they push their ideas. It's like, no, we don't. We have conversations, and then you get triggered because your actual morality is telling you that what you're doing is wrong. And instead of going, hey, maybe I should look inward, they attack.
Yep.
And that's what they do. I don't care if you want to eat meat. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You're going to do what you're going to do, but let's have a conversation about it like adults. And they never tend to want to do that. But I remember the last time I ate meat was I had been pescatarian. I hadn't been doing meat or dairy or eggs or anything like that, but I loved fish. And so I was still eating fish, but we went to a festival where they had all those food carts and stuff, and I got some Chinese noodles with chicken in it. And I remember like taking a bite, and it made me feel so sick and so nauseous because all I could think about was like, this used to be a living thing. Like, this used to be something that was up, walking around, living its life, hopefully at least outside of a cage, but probably not. And I literally couldn't finish it. I spit the bite out, I threw it away, and I have not eaten meat since because I have such a sanctity of life. Like, that is, I see an ant and I will trip myself trying not to step on an ant, because to me that ant is an individual soul I don't necessarily believe in souls, but to a certain
They're a
extent, like, that is
sentient being.
its own being. Yes.
Yeah,
And
it's
what
a
right
life,
do I
right?
have to
I feel
like,
that I feel the same way, like, about spiders and flies and stuff.
yes,
It's a life. And
exactly.
just because they're somewhere you don't want them to be, like, I say to people all the time, how would you like it if somebody just came and like smushed your life just out of existence for no reason? You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
that's what we're doing. Like, we need to have more respect for the other life that we share this planet with. And I think one of the biggest issues is we hear this all the time, the human supremacy, that like we own this
Yeah.
planet and it's ours. No, we're just here like everybody else, right? Trying to live our lives. We all have a right to do that.
Exactly. And, like, I understand that there's, like, ticks are bad, mosquitoes are bad because they cause diseases. But even like I had a giant female mosquito come into my house, and I caught her, and I sat there for 2 hours wondering what I should do. What the ethical, should I just let her go and let her make millions of babies? Or should this be a time where I do, like, smush her? And after 2 hours of debating, I did end up smushing her, but I literally sat and cried about it because to me, it was not her fault that she was a mosquito, but also, like, I can't be having my kids getting sick from like maybe some disease that her and, might spread. So it was a really big ethical debate within myself on whether or not I was okay with that. And like, I know people in the comments right now are like saying, "Oh, you're so sensitive." Yeah, because I care about life. Oh, that person's saying really derogatory
Oh,
things
yes.
right there.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Anyway,
what I wanted to tell you, though, there is some good news. They actually have come up with a birth control for mosquitoes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
sick.
so that we don't have to worry about. But I don't know if it's like massively available, but it does exist. So keep an eye out for it,
Yeah.
or look for it. I'm gonna look for it too, actually, because I did see a mosquito recently. I got bit on the rib, so now I have a little red welt.
Oh,
But
yeah. Yep.
well, yeah. So it sounds like, yeah, you care about others. You see the sentience in others, and that you don't think we should exploit each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
that's beautiful.
100%. I think it is so odd, because I've always had empathy, like again, leading back to my childhood. Like, I was raised Christian. I was raised to see other people as other, but I couldn't do it.
Mhm.
And I always got in trouble for being that kind of kid in a religion where it's very much everybody is other.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I hated the way it made me feel because then I was othered, and I just never liked that feeling. And so to me, growing up with my own ideals, pushing back constantly towards my family and my friends and the people in my church, that really helped me, come to the realization, like, for one, I do see most life as sacred. I say most because there are some human beings out there that I do not have sanctity of their life, but it's not non-vegans. It's not any, I'm talking about like extreme people who are harming, the planet.
I definitely have
harming
some
other
humans
human
on
beings.
in a group that definitely, yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with you on this.
Few groups of
Yes.
people, but animals don't have, they're not malicious. People can, yeah, wolves might go eat a deer. Can they go to a fucking grocery store, pardon my language, and, buy vegan food? No, obviously not. Can we do that? Yes. And so we have the obligation to go out and take care of the planet and do those things, like killing a mouse because it dares to come into your house. Where is your house built? Where they have lived for millions of years, like.
Yep, exactly.
I
we have to live among
understand
each other.
that they're exactly, and nobody is saying that, oh, hey, African child in Africa who only has access to maybe meat, you should starve because you can't go vegan. That's not what veganism is. It is about doing what is right when you can and any way that you can.
Yep.
And to not harm other people, to not harm, because I think people don't understand that either, is that factory farms harm people as well. Like you go look at the communities where these factories are built. You want to listen to screaming pigs all day long. You want to listen to animals fighting for their life all day. That's a detriment to mental health in those communities.
Absolutely.
Not to mention the pollution of the water, the air, the land, the food itself can even be. Look at how many recalls there have been of animal-based products because, and even sometimes plant-based products from contaminations from these factory farms.
Yeah.
That they don't see what.
I know. Can I tell you a story about that real quick?
Yeah.
I have a friend who I would post about vegan stuff on Facebook and it would always trigger her. She had to comment, right? And so one of the things I posted was a recall on meat. And I posted, I'm so glad that I don't eat meat anymore. And so she posted the recall of romaine lettuce. And I said, yeah, because of meat.
Right? Like, who did that?
That was caused by meat eaters.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of the diseases are also because of factory farming, like, like the bird flu and mad cow disease and all that kind of stuff. What does that come from?
I think almost all of the maybe Keith might have some numbers on this, but aren't almost all
75% of all new and emerging diseases are zoonotic, so they're coming from animals to humans.
Thank you. I figured, yeah, which is kind of scary when you think about it. But, and to your point, there is humans are exploited in these industries as well, right? Like you were just saying. I mean, I tell people all the time, like in the last year, I can't tell you how many headlines I've seen of these places being caught employing like 15 and 16-year-old children. Not to mention, they probably clean up and work straight as an arrow when they know OSHA's coming, and they know OSHA is coming. Trust me, they do.
Yep.
But any other day of the year, you go into these places and they're not safe for these workers. And not to mention they're exposed to all that. God only knows the stuff and the machinery isn't safe. And there is a very, very, very high rate of post-traumatic stress disorder in people who work in these places. And from that post-traumatic stress disorder, we see high rates of domestic violence, substance abuse, unaliving themselves. It's awful. So humans are exploited too. Humans suffer in these industries too.
Oh yeah. Well, and like we all grew up, at least I did, with, all the commercials, all of the books that our teachers were reading us about the Amazon and how we have to save the Amazon. And what is destroying the Amazon right now? It is factory farming. It is creating land to put cattle on so you can then slaughter them, so that, and growing soy fields for animals, and like, if we just, leave the Amazon be, but most of the soy that is produced is not for human consumption. It is for animals that, and a lot of people also don't understand
that. They use that as an argument with us, like, well,
exactly,
deforestation is because of vegans. No, it actually isn't.
Nope, that
it's actually because of meat eaters. They're growing food for the animals you want to eat.
Exactly. And, like the B12 argument, it's like, okay, then why do your cows that you eat have to get B12 shots? I don't have to, the B12 that I get comes from natural sources, plant-based sources. I don't have a B12 deficiency being a vegan. In fact, if you go look at statistics, people who eat meat because they in their minds think, "Oh, it's got B12 in it, I'm good." They have a deficiency in B12 because they are not getting enough of it. They're not going to get nutritional yeast and sprinkling that on their food, like which has like 1,000% of your B12, daily supplement. And I eat that multiple times a day. I have zero, problems with my B12. Same with my protein. When I was a meat eater, I was 82 pounds. Okay. I'm 5'3" and I was 82 pounds. I was very underweight. And it's not that I wasn't eating, it was just lack of nutrition because I was eating the wrong things. Now I have enough energy where I'm starting to go to the gym, where I work out. I'm stronger than I've ever been. I'm 125 pounds. My husband is a bodybuilder. He's like almost pushing 300 and he is not fat. It is pure muscle. You go look at one of the strongest men on earth. He is a vegan. So it has nothing to do with, like I said, if I wanted to be an unhealthy vegan, I totally could be. And I could have a shitty life system. I could feel crappy every day if I was not eating right. All you have to do is eat right. That's it. And like, I'm not even about my health.
There's a thing called the Vegan Daily Dozen if someone wants to make sure that they get everything. And I wanted to make a point to your B12 thing. That Chip guy that was up here earlier, he used to be on the carnivore diet and he had a B12 deficiency. So he actually had to supplement B12 when he was eating carnivore. Which is just, to your point, like they weren't supplementing the cows. So the cows didn't have their B12, but the cows don't live long enough to have adverse effects of not having enough B12. So it didn't affect the cows, but it did affect him when he consumed them. And it did affect the cows when they lost their life. But, Dr. Rich, I appreciate you being up here. You're welcome to sit up here with us and advocate. We advocate for abolition and we don't advocate for baby steps because baby steps still lead to someone losing everything. But we do talk about it as in one step at a time, as in like each opportunity that presents itself, deciding then what to do so that you don't feel overwhelmed with your choices. Sorry, my partner's feeding the squirrels.
Having me come up and talk. I do have to, I'm staying with my grandma right now, which she is about 70% plant-based. She doesn't drink milk anymore, so she's not sick anymore. She's kind of still stuck in her old ways, but the fact that she's 81 years old and loves our vegan food and eats our vegan meals with us and goes to the store and buys specifically vegan food for me, my husband, and her to enjoy, I think was a huge win. I wish we had we had been vegan sooner because she does have enlarged heart problems. And I do think that is from very much eating tons of meat. Just my life growing up with her, like it was meat, steak, pork all the time. But she has outlived most of her friends. And I think that that's because for the last 8 years, she's been eating plant-based foods more than anything else. But I do have to go. She wants me to go do some stuff for her. But I really appreciate you guys letting me speak today.
Thanks for coming up. And I've followed you back. But if you want to come up here and outreach abolition, we're totally here for you. You're welcome to this community. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I'll definitely come back.
We look forward to that. Well, thank you, Duck, for coming up. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all your efforts. And you sound like a good soul. I'd love to do outreach with you.
Awesome.
All right. Well, you have a good day.
You too. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah, Dub's in the chat. Oh, Duck the Rich. Wow. I was like, I know it's Duck. Now I forgot the last half of the name. Duck the Rich. Please go follow Duck the Rich. Go ask her questions. Sounds like she's very knowledgeable. But yeah, hopefully she comes up on the panel more. I'd love to have her up here. She sounds like a strong advocate.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Let's see. We have a list here. So remember, you got to be over 18. I don't want to talk to anybody under 18. All right. Got smiles and not smiles. Hi. Are you over?
Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. You have to be over 18. Ben 17. I get the feeling you're not 18. Ben, how old are you?
Nigger.
Ben. You're such a. I feel really bad for you. Your parents didn't hug you enough, it sounds like. I'm going to report you so that TikTok can hug you. Because that's not okay to talk like that. Where is. And we'll just go with minor safety. You are a minor, so we're worried about your safety. You're not being very safe. You're being. Oh, what is going on here? Why? Why does it put it there? Puts it right where all my buttons are. It's not cool. All right. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Takes away my multi-guest window, too. All right. Looks like all the kids left. They didn't want to be dropped. So I'm just going to run over real quick what veganism is. Veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of other sentient beings. So I don't want to demand someone be exploited for me because I don't want to be exploited for somebody else. And we just recognize that there's someone in there experiencing life who cares about what happens to themselves. And that's all that matters. I would argue it's all we care about in other humans. And if it's all we care about, then we should extend that to everybody who feels that way. Everybody who can feel emotions subjectively. So if you're 18 and older, I'd love to know why you're not vegan. Over here on YouTube. Oh, did I read it out? Actually, I thought there was another one. It was right here, I thought. Where'd it go? This one? Oh, there it is. Thanks for all the work you do, Anna. W to the panel. That was Sabby Coops. Thank you, Sabby. Dubs in the chat for Sabby. I wanted to do that earlier, but we were all chit-chatting, so thank you so much, Sabby. I really do appreciate 25 euros. Wow. Thank you so much. Really. Thank you. And then I also wanted to do, oh, David's in the house. What's up, 40-year-old vegan? If you're not following 40-year-old vegan, go follow him now. Also, while I'm at it, please follow the vegans that are on the panel. Keith also has Tofu Whisperer, so follow both of his accounts. And then Stasia, she just goes live and has content. Please just go follow her. And both of them go on other vegans lives, so you'll find other vegans as well. So please follow both of them. Great activists, both extremely knowledgeable. So definitely go follow them, ask them questions. I wanted to thank, so David, thank you for the donut. Jessica, thank you for the heart. You probably helped me get to my live goal. Thank you. And then Pugsley, thank you so much. Looks like you donated a couple of your awesomes. Oh, you sent Jason. Oh, are you sending it to the opposition? Gotcha. Then we've got Go Popular by Keith and a heart. Oh my God, Keith, thank you so much. And Cole, thank you for the heart. Stasha, you sent confetti. Oh, I saw that actually. It was so cute. Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys, for doing that. It will only ever go to my activism. So it's paid for parking and it bought that microphone so that you could be out there with me when I do street outreach, which wasn't so successful. We only had like 6 people watching apparently, but TikTok said that we had to go live again before it starts sharing our live, I guess. So we'll have another dead live and then we'll be awesome. Thank you, Cole. Oh my God, you sent 50 of them. You're awesome. Thank you for that. Okay. Well, let's answer a couple of questions, I guess. My 40-year-old, why do you get mad if a cow dies when most people make 6,000? Like the money, 6,000 cows. I don't know what you're talking about now, actually. The reason why we care if you're exploiting someone is because if we were the victim, we would want someone to care. That's why. We're speaking up because if we were the one in the cage, we'd want someone to speak up for us. It's that simple. Yeah. Don't use words of groups that you're not a part of to make yourself feel better. Oof. Yeah, even if you're vegan, don't do it. Okay? I don't tolerate certain words. Even if you're vegan, I don't care if you're a vegan gains follower. Okay? I don't like words that are used to put down groups that aren't here to defend themselves. Okay? So please be careful with your words. My moderators have been told to hide anybody who uses that word. So I'm giving you caution now. Do not use that word. All right. I feel like when I do bring it up, it somehow starts to get spammed, but I just feel like I really need to address it because there are people that I care about in here that might be using that word. And I just want you to understand what's going on. That word is not helpful for anybody. It just hurts others. Okay. Thank you, 40, for also keeping the chat safe. I appreciate you too. Thank you. All right. So I want to know why you guys are not vegan. I'm not here to fight you. No vegan is out here to fight you. I mean, we may get upset. We're defending someone, so it's understandable. But we want to know, like, when you understand that animals feel pain, that animals care about what's happening to themselves, that they have the capacity to suffer and feel joy, when you learn about that and you realize these actions you're taking that harm that to them are unnecessary, that you can avoid them, don't you agree that the moral choice is to leave the animals alone when you know you don't need to use them? Wouldn't the moral choice be to live vegan, regardless of what you call yourself? You don't need to even call yourself vegan. I'm just talking about your actions and what you do. Veganism is just a descriptor of, not seeing someone as a something. That's all veganism really means. But you don't have to call yourself that. You can just do the actions that align with your own principles of not demanding someone else's exploitation. Trolls are so easy to spot. The lack of empathy and the illiteracy is pathetic. Yeah. I agree. It's more like the non-vegans that hear the truth, right? And then they keep pushing back. Those ones are the ones. There are a lot of non-vegans that, again, are just unaware. They don't know. There's a lot of curious people. Because I used to use animals and I just didn't know. And I even used to make those stupid comments of like, oh, you're going to peel it from my dead cold hands, It's just because I didn't know what I was saying. And most of these people are the same way. They see a rise out of us and they think that we're being pathetic from like small statements, but it's like, you don't even understand what's going on when you say, oh, yummy steak. It's like, yeah, someone had to have their throat made open so that all their life essence could drain out of them. And then they could be no more experiences for them, just so you could lick their insides for like 15 minutes. It's terrible.
Yeah, a lot of people, unfortunately, and that's the problem with society and the way the system is, right? Like, and everything we do is by design so that we don't think about that. But the bottom line is that someone has to die.
Yeah.
Like, you are literally paying for a hitman to unalive someone so you can have a food item on your plate. And that's it. It's kind of a big deal. Like, our society says, oh, it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal. It really is. Like, you got to think of it that way, that these animals are victims of your choices, that everything that happens to them, which involves a lot of cruelty, is because you are demanding it with your money when you buy these products.
I see a comment saying that I don't understand what I'm doing to my body taking all these supplements. K. Smith, I urge you to look into the studies behind that. I think you'll find it's quite the opposite, that supplements are actually more absorbed than eating it from whole foods. I do agree that you should try to eat as many whole foods as possible, but taking supplements is not a bad thing. It's okay. They've been shown to be effective at getting you what you need. Hey, Life. I do have a request. Let's see if we can get Set to come up here. Hey, Life. Good to see you.
Hey.
Hey, Set. Are you over 18?
Yep.
Okay. Are you vegan?
No.
What?
I had a question.
Could you answer my question? Why aren't you vegan? And then I'll answer your question.
Why am I not vegan? Because I don't think the rules are applied consistently.
Do you know what veganism means?
Don't know what veganism means?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Do you know what veganism means?
Yeah, it means not eating meat.
No, that would be vegetarianism.
What's the difference?
Veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So it's not even just about what I consume as a diet, it's also about what I wear, what I use for entertainment, what cosmetics I use, right? I'm recognizing the victims
Oh
in all
yeah.
aspects
Well,
of
I
my
should have
life.
answered that better. Not hurting animals.
Nope, that's not it either. So veganism is again against the exploitation. That just means the unfair use of somebody for my benefit.
Well, wouldn't like anything that hurts animals be an
Not
exploitation of
always.
them?
If I'm defending myself from a bear, I'm not exploiting the bear if I end up taking their life out of defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not exploitation. I'm against exploitation of other sentient beings, using someone unfairly for your benefit.
Yeah.
So does that
Basically, well, I
align
mean, I
with
feel
your
like
own?
there's no way.
Doesn't that align with your own principles?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So then I guess what is it in your mind that you think we need from animals that might justify what we do to them?
Well, like, why are animals allowed to eat animals?
Okay, you didn't answer my question. You just started saying your own question. What is it in animals that you need that you can't get from other sources?
What is in animals
Are you not
that I
going to answer
need
my
that I can't get from
questions?
other sources? I'm trying to make sure I got the right question from you.
Is there something you need specifically from animals that you can't get from other sources?
And I guess food.
You can get food from plants. What can you only get from animals that you can't get from other sources?
Complete
You
protein.
can get complete protein from plants, fungi, and seaweed.
Yeah, but I might not want to eat seaweed.
You don't have to eat seaweed. You can get complete proteins just from plants.
Yeah, but what if I don't want to eat plants all day
I don't
long?
care what you want to eat. I'm telling you, sentient beings do not want to be used just like you, and you can use something else.
How do you know they're sentient?
Because we have evidence. We have the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness and the New York Declaration of Consciousness. Go over thousands of studies. Animals are sentient
They're
with a
able
brain
to
and a
test
central
and
nervous
measure
system.
conscience.
So you're sentient if you're alive and have a brain and central nervous system.
Doesn't mean it's sentient.
If it's functioning, yeah, it does.
Yeah, but that's just an opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's what our science tells us. So let me ask you this: do you think humans are sentient?
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
know?
How do I know? It's because of my opinion.
So do you have like pudding for brains? Why did you
No,
come up
I'm
here?
just saying it's the same
Why'd you
thing.
come up here?
So, what do you think sentience is?
You say what?
What is sentience?
Like sentient, like you're a person. You're somebody that's like
No. What does sentient mean?
with sentient.
Yeah.
What's it called? I don't know the definition.
So you don't know what
Word for
sentience
word.
means. How do you know who has sentience if you don't know what sentience means?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What I mean? You're saying that an animal doesn't have sentience, but you
Yeah, it
can't
doesn't.
tell me. But you can't tell me what sentience is.
Because I don't have like every definition
You don't
written
have
down on
two
a piece
brain
of
cells to
paper.
rub together. We get it.
No, I think it's more
Okay,
than
so
that.
then how do you know what
Okay, so
sentience
I'll-
is or that someone has sentience if you don't know what it is? Sorry, Landon, continue.
No. Yeah. So okay. So I think he's googling it now, which is good. I think that's something that you need to do. To be talking about something you're not too familiar with, it's good to look it up.
I mean, I could ask you guys what calculus is. It'd be the same thing.
Math. So sentience
Okay,
is the ability
yeah, go
to
ahead.
experience life and emotions. So they have their own subjective experience of suffering, their own subjective experience of joy, just like you.
I mean, I don't see how an animal can experience emotions.
I don't know how you see anything because you don't know anything apparently.
How can an animal experience
You
emotions?
telling me that if
Okay,
I
hey,
kick a dog...
Would you ever punch a dog? Yeah.
No,
there
go
you
ahead, Landon. I'm more upset right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. So would you ever punch a dog, Set?
No.
Why not?
Why not punch a dog? Well,
Yeah.
I don't like punching dogs.
No, but why wouldn't you? Why don't you like punching dogs?
I just told you I don't like punching dogs.
I said, why don't you like punching dogs?
I don't know. I just
Is it because it hurts them?
No, because I just think it's a weird thing to do.
Why is it weird?
Because why would you punch a dog?
According
There's no
to
reason.
you, it wouldn't matter if you
Is
punched
it
a
okay to
dog.
punch punching bags?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting. So
That's
why
what
is it
they're
okay?
So
for.
if you did punch a dog, do you think that the dog would feel pain?
Yeah, it would damage him.
Okay, that's sentience.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he feel emotions.
Okay, have you ever seen a dog be stressed out or scared?
Yeah.
Okay, are those not emotions?
I mean, you could, I guess, yeah, that's an emotion. But
Okay, thank you. All right, so we can get past that part where animals don't have emotions because they do. They're scared, they're happy, they're sad.
I don't know
Those
about
are
happy
all
and sad.
emotions. Yes. Have you ever seen a
No,
dog wag their
that's not an
tail?
emotion. Hold on.
Have you seen a dog wag their tail?
That's a survival mechanism.
Oh my god! Yeah, I'm done with this guy.
I mean, Seth, do you think that humans that you can't communicate with don't have emotions?
Am I muted?
We can hear you now. So, like, a human who's unable to communicate ever with someone else, does that mean that they're not sentient?
Oh no, all humans are sentient
Okay, how do we know that this individual is sentient?
because it's a human.
No. Again, like, the answer can't be surmised in a simpliciter like that. We have an individual. We can't communicate with this individual. We have no idea what emotional state is going on with him because they can't describe it to us.
You shouldn't have to describe it. He's a human.
Should we infer based off of psychological study and evidence showing that the same regions of the brain light up within their brain when the same kind of stimulus is put upon them, such as pain stimulus or emotional stimulus?
I don't think you understand how that works. If it's a
Said,
human,
you
is
don't
already
know.
sentient.
You don't understand. You're pudding for brains, remember?
He's trying
I know
to
you
make
forgot. So
something
have
else.
pudding for brains. Let's put it back together into a brain shape.
Like, Seth, do you think
That's
that
ad
animal
hominem.
psychology is just like a bunk science that should be done away with?
You said what?
Do you think animal psychology is a debunked science that should just be done away with?
It's an animal.
Sorry, that's not my question. Do you think animal psychology is a debunked science, right? There's no scientific evidence that would guide or give any meaning to animal psychology.
I
right?
don't think any science should be just done away with. It's science.
Oh my god.
What?
It's science. Why would you just do away with science?
Okay,
I'm
so you
asking
believe in
you,
science.
should we do away with animal psychology, which is a form of science?
If it's science, no, I do not think it should be do away with.
Oh, great. Well, animal psychology would be the science that shows us when we analyze the brains and behaviors of these animals, and it shows us that they go through emotional states. They go through valence states where they go through either positive, neutral, or negative states of emotion.
Okay, so if animals eat each other, are they not exploiting each other?
Yeah, that can be technically the sumization, but that doesn't mean that it's unjustified. The animals who are doing those actions are doing so out of necessity. You,
Wait.
however, are doing
Why
so
can't
for
they
a
just
desire.
eat plants?
Wait, Set. So can we all agree that animals have emotions? Can we just knock that out real quick?
I mean, if you want to, sure.
But okay,
No,
so they have emotions, correct?
No, I don't actually believe that. I'm just saying if we want to move
So
forward.
what's your evidence that they don't have emotions?
What do you mean they're evident? They're
What's
not
your evidence that
humans.
they don't have emotions? So only
not
humans
humans.
have emotions.
Yes.
And what's your proof of that?
What's your proof that it's not?
Oh my god, bro.
Seth, you're making the positive claim. You initiated this positive claim
He's
by
also
making
making a
the
positive
assertion.
claim.
The assertion that goes against well-documented and well-understood animal psychology and behavioral science within animals that shows that they have emotions. You made the assertion that that science is completely wrong. The general consensus is completely wrong. Is
Yeah,
your
he's
take.
also making an assertion.
So the positive claim would be on you to prove. So, what's your proof of
So
your
is he
claim?
not making a positive claim?
What?
Is he not making a positive claim?
You initiated the positive claim, dummy.
It doesn't matter. He's also making a positive claim.
No, it does matter. You
No, it
initiated
doesn't.
the positive claim that started this component of the argument. So the empirical evidence is going to lie on you, which is why we've been asking you for some tangible piece of evidence, and you just keep coming back with my opinion.
Y'all are also operating on opinions.
No, we are literally operating off the scale of scientific
What
evidence.
empirical proof
I'm
do you?
just gonna drop him right there.
Yeah.
He's just a
thank
waste
you.
of time.
Dude was
literally
hopeless.
like 4 brain cells floating around in a fucking
Oh yeah.
vacuum.
Oh yeah. That was
Are you sure? Are you sure it's 4 brain cells? It might
yeah.
be 2.
Float around in pudding.
I don't know.
It's half of one, if anything.
1.5. Okay, we'll give him a
Yeah,
half.
a little half.
What the heck was that?
Apparently, opinion is the new science, according to that
Yeah.
guest.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to listen to what we're saying because that would mean that
Right.
he's hurting other sentient beings, and that
Right.
sounds bad to him.
Ignorance is
Exactly.
bliss.
But he's also a very poor debater
Yeah.
as well.
He's just doing this stupid whole
He-
ignorant thing. Like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
I would not hit my dog. Why not? Because it's
I
not
don't know,
right.
I'm just not into that.
Huh?
But it's fun. What if I
God.
told you it's so much fun? I have someone in my other chat that's like spamming that they want to eat people, and they're donating $2 to say it every time. They've done it like 4 times now.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, you're the one losing
And-
money right
and-
now. I just have to delete your comment.
You know what? That just paid for your
I
next
know, right? They
vegan
literally
meal.
just paid for parking for
There you
everything
go.
street outreach. So thank you for that.
Thank
Pooh.
you.
And,
Thank you
one
for
other
supporting
thing-
veganism.
One other thing I was thinking about, you know how people debate that, oh, I do not take supplements or anything, but there's so much food out there, whether it's junk food or anything. A lot of times they try to fortify the food to, so technically everything we eat, if it's not plant, like if it's junk food or whatever, often is fortified with something.
Well, and they've.
And so technically,
Go ahead. Sorry.
all I was going to say is technically everybody is supplementing.
Yeah, exactly. Like the vegans aren't the ones supporting the supplement industry for sure. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Pooh, you keep giving me
That
$2.
is-
It's ridiculous. Stop it. I'm sorry. He just keeps spamming me with $2. It's just I'm gonna let him keep doing it.
Question it, V. Just don't question it.
Right,
V.
don't question it. Shh, accept it, I guess. Oh my god. Let's see, we do have a request. I don't know what to call you other than maybe Cross. Okay. I don't want to listen to your music. Thank you,
Yep.
though. It's a good song.
It is a good
Yeah,
song.
it's a
Give
good
you
song.
that.
I'm not here to listen to it right now. Maybe later. Maybe later. Well, that was the only person I had in request, so you guys can keep we can keep talking.
How's everybody
How is
doing?
everybody doing? Oh, I got a comment. So y'all have way more patience than me. I know this isn't much, but a coffee or a shot of vodka on me. Ah, Stuart, thank you.
Oh.
That's so sweet. Oh my God. So
Aw.
incredibly sweet. I think earlier Cole gave like 50 You're Awesomes too. That was really sweet. You guys are amazing. I do want you to remember though, don't feel like you need to give me anything. You can give things to the people on my panel. They'll need it. They'll use it. I'll use it too for activism, but I just don't want you to feel pressured to send things to me. Like if you want, you can also send them to sanctuaries or another activist.
I was just about to say that exact
Yeah,
sentence.
sanctuary. That's always a great place to send a couple dollars. They always need it to help their
I
residents.
think that person might be re-requesting. Sounds like based on the comment, he didn't mean to be playing the music.
Oh, okay. I don't see him
Did you
in the
guys
list.
hear about the Trump cow?
No.
There's a cow that was ready for the slaughter because
I
it got
saw that,
sold, and then looks like Trump and an organization fought for it, and now the cow has moved to a sanctuary.
Wow.
It's an albino.
Really?
It's an albino.
it's an
cow
albino
with
cow
an
with-
orange comb over.
Oh
You gotta
my God.
You got to Google Trump cow.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I might have to do that later. Yeah,
It's
I
got-
like.
The cow's got to look like Trump in order for Trump to want to save
That's
that cow.
so sad. Yeah, I bet Trump.
That's very
Yeah,
vegan
feels
it's
that way.
That's
it
very
is
vegan
sad.
of him.
Wow, that's wild. I'm sure they look. Well, no, I don't even want to put down the cow that way. I was like gonna make fun of Trump, but that puts down the cow. That poor cow. I feel bad for them having that hair.
It is a
I mean, at least they get to live, I guess. So that part is. I don't know. I feel all mixed
Yeah.
about that.
it's a very mixed
Yeah, I
feeling.
want them
trust
to be
me.
safe,
know
but
where
I
you're
feel
coming
bad they have
from.
to wear that hair. Ugh. Oh my gosh. Well, I invited Cross back up here. It's fine. It's fine if that was an accident. I thought I sent you back up here though. Oh, I did send you the invite. Okay. I can't send it to you again. I do have someone waiting. They're called Orange. Oh, someone said the bull looked 1,000 times better than Donald Trump. That's a much better way to put that. Much better way. Hey, Orange, are you over 18?
I love that.
Yes, I'm over 18.
Okay. Are you vegan?
No,
All right. Why aren't you vegan?
because I like eating meat. I don't like vegan food.
What's veganism?
I just enjoy the taste. Veganism, I'm not is it so not with it's not it's to stop the exploitation of animal abuse. Is that correct?
It's against the exploitation. Yes.
When means and practical.
Yes. As far as practicable and possible. Yeah.
Okay, can I ask you guys a question
Sure.
on that then? So you're using the app TikTok, and you know the TikTok data centers, they emit the carbon footprint for a data center is emitting more than a country like Greece. So I want to know why this app. You should stop using this app, and you can talk about
Yeah,
veganism
you'd want to
outside
do
of
a
the.
per
Hold
capita
on.
calculus on that.
Well, not only
what
that,
you're
you're
doing.
on.
Hold on. But
You're
wait.
on TikTok.
Wait, can I just finish? I know I'm on TikTok, but I'm not talking
Orange,
about
you want to do
animal
a
abuse.
per capita calculus on this?
Hold on,
the
can you just let me
average-
finish one moment,
if you
Keith?
round out like that number
hold on,
to
hold
like
on,
the
Keith,
average
hold on.
users,
Sorry,
the
I haven't finished,
totality.
Keith. Can you let me speak, please?
You're applying a global app to the
Wait,
state
if you
of
listen.
a country.
Wait, if you listen.
I know
if you
the
listen,
same question
if
because
you listen,
I talked
sir,
to you about this before. I explained it to you before, and you just
Host-
disregarded all of the measurements
Host-
that we
Hold on,
went
Orange.
over. So this
Can I speak to the
conversation is
host, please?
genuinely
Not-
going to be another waste of time because this is your same argument every fucking time.
I was gonna say, like, it's
No
not
matter
even
how
to the
I
host,
approach
not
vegan
you,
though. Like,
no
Keith.
matter how much I
this whole thing
explain the
is
per
not vegan.
No,
capita
but you
calculus
guys
to
have a way to
you just
communicate
can't
and talk
understand
about
it.
your beliefs, what you're believing in,
So
why
yeah,
vegan
no,
is why
Orange,
vegan
and
is
this
the
is
way
the other
forward.
problem. You just continually talk over
Yeah.
us, so we're not going to get anywhere.
No.
Again, like the per capita calculus, if you round out the total TikTok users utilizing the program across the entire world, the amount of carbon emissions comes down to like minuscule amounts compared to like the per capita use of resources and CO2 output of various countries to the people within that country, because that's what that goes to when we're talking about like the output of a particular country. It's the per capita usage per person within that country. Maybe some negligible amount spread elsewhere, but it's mostly utilized by the people within that country. So you're not going to be able to make a meaningful comparison here. You have to compare the per capita usage of TikTok globally to the output of TikTok. Like, we're not going to here like to say that like, oh, there's not like problems with it or can't be improved. Data centers absolutely can be
Yes.
improved, and they're actually like they just released information recently that many of these data centers are swapping to a new copper cooling system that is supposed to reduce the cooling needs by like 99%. Right?
Okay.
So like these are problems that can be resolved because the exploitation or harm or whatever it is that you want to label it as has ways of being improved. There's no way to improve the factor of unaliving an animal to consume them. You will always be exploiting them directly. That's inescapable.
Well, and I still didn't quite fully. Were they just referring to the water usage, or are they saying where the data centers are
They were going to
located?
go over the carbon and
Yeah, so
other
that's again,
footprints
that has
of.
nothing to do with veganism, yo. That is
Yeah.
literally environment, and honestly, sentient beings' rights are here, environment's right here. You got it? I care about the rights of sentient beings way more than I care about the environment. I care a lot about the environment, but I'm not going to enslave others just because it's better for the environment, Orange. What if it was better for the environment for me to enslave you? Would you say it's moral for me to enslave you? You can answer in the chat. I'm not bringing you up. If it's wrong for me to enslave you, it's wrong for you to demand the enslavement of other animals just because of data centers. That's the laziest excuse I've ever heard. Pooh, you're making me rich.
And then the comment that and then the other comment where he goes, I don't eat any vegan food. Well, that means you don't eat salad, you don't
Potatoes, you don't eat French fries, you don't eat bread, pastas.
What? Yeah, it's like, okay, well then.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Oh,
There's so
man.
many foods out there.
No.
Honestly, Orange, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? We're rights.
Literally
Exactly.
nothing of use, nothing of
we're
substance. They
activists.
do this every single time they come into a vegan
We're
life.
activists speaking up for someone's rights. We're saying someone is not being treated fairly. They're being treated unfairly to death. And you're up here saying, yeah, that's okay. It's my right to do that to them. What a disgusting opinion, Orange. What a disgusting human
Yeah,
being
and
you
they're-
have to be to think that's okay. And to sit there in the
And their
request still
whole
hoping.
appeal-
Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, their whole appeal is to just like operate off of some like tu quoque fallacy. It's like the whole like idea of a tu quoque, why it's absurd, why it's pointless in these kinds of discussions is, let's say we have the discussion about TikTok and you convince us so wholeheartedly that we're like, shit, you're right, let's stop using TikTok right now. Does that mean if Anna logs off and stops hosting her live, you're immediately going to go vegan now? No.
Right.
You're not.
Oh, I got a
Like,
warning.
so shut the fuck up about this shit.
Live is restricted for some audience. Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. That's really sad, TikTok. It made me uneligible to be shared for the next 10 minutes. Should I just restart?
I think you can. Can't you? What do you
Appeal?
call it? Like
There's
appeal.
no
it, yeah.
appeal button.
And that typically. Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
No, it's one of those from
If
the
it's
viewers.
just a flat out restriction, yeah, you're better off restarting.
Okay. It'll take me like 2 seconds because I'm on the desktop. Are you guys okay to come back?
Yeah.
I'm definitely
Okay.
back. I will be back.
Yep.
We will
All right,
be
cool.
back.
I'm going to end it and I'll see you in like a minute.
Make it 2
Just in
seconds.
case, just in case. I appreciate y'all. By the way, before we leave, please go follow all the vegans on this panel. Great activists, always putting out great content, and they go on other vegan lives. And some of them go live themselves. So you can actually ask them questions during the live, or you can go find them on other vegans' lives. Whatever you do when you follow them, you'll see what they're doing, and just stay informed. And they are all just great activists. Please go follow all of them. All right. I'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Cool. I hid my button. There we go. All right. And we're not going back. No, I'm just kidding. All right, put this back up here, I think. Hold on, guys. I got to go back to my OBS and resituate. Let's look up here. Oh, no, the chaos. Okay, I'm back. Go live. Oh, yeah, they moved the button. I forgot. Damn it. Okay. Starting over. Oh, Marcos, 15 years vegan. Yeah, stubs in the chat for Marcos. That's amazing. Yeah, TikTok's lame. That last person, I think they reported me as bullying or something. Oh my God. Okay, it just looks overwhelming. Oh my goodness, you guys. You've donated so much today. Thank you so much. Dubs in the chat to everybody, all the vegans. Dubs in the chats for vegans. You guys all rock. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to do this without y'all. Hey, Stasia.
Hey.
Ugh.
What a sore
I know, right?
loser.
That's all it came down to is they were just upset.
Jeez. Can't
It
handle
could
it,
have been
huh?
the guy before that because I was calling him pudding brain. So
Oh, that's true. That's true. It could have been any of them,
yeah,
let's
it could have
face it.
been. I was just so getting frustrated. I hate it when people demean animals to say like, "Oh, they don't have feelings."
I
I'm just like,
know.
you are clearly
I know.
lying. You're a liar.
Right.
Pure
Yeah,
lying.
I know.
Yeah. Landon.
I know. It drives me crazy
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Just lose it. I think it's because we all have seen our companions suffer, and it's like, you're telling me that they didn't suffer. You're a stupid son of a bee.
Right? Well, most of us. Oh, sorry. I was eating potato chips, and I think
Yeah,
I
the
got
crumbs.
a little bit went the wrong way. Yeah, potato chips are vegan,
Yes,
folks.
they are. Well, not all of them,
Most
but
of
most
them.
of them, yeah. Because a potato is a plant.
Yeah. Most of us have experience with companion animals. So, if you've ever spent like 5 minutes with a dog or a cat, excuse me, I don't understand. I don't understand how you can't see that that's an individual with a personality that thinks and feels.
Exactly.
I don't get it. And if you say that you don't, I think you're lying. To be honest,
I don't believe him for a second. I guarantee most people that are healthy would see a dog being kicked for fun and not think, "Oh, that human's having a good time." They would think,
Right.
What are you
Right.
doing? Leave that dog alone. Get the F away. I'm gonna probably punch you in the face." Yeah. I see a lot of questions about AI. I would want to ask you, what are your issues with AI? I guarantee that that if you're concerned about like water use, or you're concerned about humans having these places so close to them, I would argue that you should be vegan, because the same issues are multiplied when you use animals. There are definitely more animal farms, especially these factory farms and slaughterhouses that are put next to poor neighborhoods. And these people that live around them have increased crime, violent crime, domestic violence, alcohol, drug abuse. They have more incidences of asthma and cancer. So, I mean, if you're concerned, think about how many of these slaughterhouses, how many of these factory farms are next to neighbors, right? So many more. And you can actually have an effect on this. Right? Abstaining from using
And
AI.
so many.
Sorry. I was
Go
going to say,
ahead.
abstaining from using
Finish your
AI,
thought.
I don't think is going to hold it back at all. Boycotting works, but it only works if that's what the main push is behind it. AI right now, I don't even think it's making money yet. I think it's mostly like getting investments. So it's not even about our usage. It's them trying to build and them, I say, it's the wealthy people that are trying to utilize this for free labor and work, right? So it's not about your usage, it's about what it's going to be utilized for. I do think we should make regulations around it, but you yourself are demanding animals be exploited right now. You can move your hand and make a huge drastic difference for animal ag. You can actually make reduction in it. You can still advocate against AI. That's fine. I can be a bad person in your eyes for that. I think that using AI for animal activism is more valuable than abstaining from it, personally. It gives me a lot of tools to be able to reach a larger audience to talk about the ethics and what kind of world we want to live in. So that's why I utilize it, and why I think that water usage and, going with what it is right now is okay, because not only that, we can improve, as Keith was saying in the last live, we can improve these data centers. You cannot improve or remove the exploitation of enslaving someone and using them for your benefit. So that's why I'm okay with using AI, and the fact that so many people are triggered by it to come in and tell me specifically that. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's basically a lure, and you bid it. So thank you for taking my bait. Now tell me why you're not vegan, right?
Well
Yeah.
said.
Thank y'all for coming back too. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, and just to go over the numbers on water usage again, like data centers use somewhere in the realm of I think it's like 6 trillion gallons of water per year. So like all data centers combined, that's not just like AI data centers strictly, it's all of them combined is 6 trillion. People watering their lawns, like their vanity lawns, is 12 trillion. The amount that goes into animal agriculture is close to 500 trillion, and that's only constituting 17% of the global calorie supply. So we're just wasting water on animals and the feed to give to them. So yeah, I mean, if you're like worried about water usage, you should probably stop supporting animal agriculture first and foremost. Like, and yeah, again, there was just a recent discovery made by a group working on improving cooling of data centers that found that, you know, a new technology for like solid state cooling with copper modules would allow them to reduce the cooling requirements by 99%, roughly speaking. So it's not like you can't improve this technology. There's ways of doing that where it doesn't need as much water.
I mean, there was a time when a regular desktop computer took up an entire office space, like a whole room. And now you carry a computer in your pocket. Like that just goes to show you we can improve our technology and greatly. So it's not that, it's the things that we don't need anymore. We don't need animal ag. We can literally have the exact same things without using animals. It's a political thing now. It's been politicized, and these this like handful of corporations have a lot of money to put to lobbyists so that they can incentivize governments to keep supporting these businesses. So, I mean, they don't even make money. We literally are paying our taxes to artificially reduce the cost of these things. Like we're paying double for
They don't
them,
make
and we're
money.
hurting ourselves and the planet and them. Sorry, go ahead, Life.
No problem. Yeah, they're not making money, and besides the noise complaints and this and that, and the fights against it, the data centers is also like how they've raised every other price up from your memory to your computers. You could argue left, right, and center about it. It's there for a reason. It will improve over the next few years. They're looking at micro data centers like on people's front lawn.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That makes more sense for it to be closer to you, like individually. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of options that we can do to fix the technology, but it's not an excuse for you to not live vegan. It's a nirvana fallacy and an appeal to someone else's hypocrisy fallacy. You're saying just because this person over here is not perfect, I'm not going to make the right choice, and that's why it really doesn't matter what I do. What matters is what you do, your choices, right? What are you going to do? You can't control anybody else but yourself. Go be the best person you can be, right? You recognize something's wrong, don't do that wrong thing. It's that simple, especially if there's a victim.
Well, not to mention they're exposing their own hypocrisy, right? I mean, you can't come up here and try and point out that we don't care about the environment and you do, and continue to contribute to one of the leading causes of the environment being destroyed, which is animal agriculture.
I mean, it's not one of. It's
like the main one.
It is the leading. Okay, I wanted to
leading
be
driver of land use change globally. Yeah. That's the leading driver of species loss and species extinction.
Yeah.
And then it's one of the largest greenhouse gas polluters. Like it beats out the entirety of the transportation sector. So by like an environmental metric, it's not even remotely close. Like these are just completely separate figures comparing like the impact of like, you know, infrastructure on land from humans. Like that's certainly not great for the environment, but you know, ultimately compared to animal agriculture, it's not even close. Like only 1% of all habitable land is human built up infrastructure, like buildings, roadways,
you say 1%?
It's only 1% of all habitable land. People always assume it's much larger than that, but yeah, like this was part of the assessment of, groups like Our World in Data and the studies that Our World in Data pulls from. You can like look into that and you'll see that like, the actual land footprint of different sectors are vastly different. Like agriculture represents 45% of all of our habitable land, and 80% of that goes to animal agriculture. 32% is wild forest, like 20 something percent or whatever is like marshlands and things like that. So we're just, continually decimating much of the Earth's land through agriculture, not, data centers. Data centers impact is more on like certain resources that can be finite and limited. And it would also be an impact on water use to some extent. But again, they're already improving that technology drastically. And again, lastly, this means nothing because all it says is that you're telling us that if we ended this live right now, you would stop exploiting animals.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Yeah.
That makes no sense. If you're that adamantly opposed that all technology and use of any data center, because again, mind you, data centers aren't just for AI.
Yeah.
They're for literally any data transfers that you're utilizing on the
Yes.
internet. Congrats. So
Any
if you're
application
against
on the
that,
internet,
get
yeah.
off the internet.
It's on a server
Just
somewhere.
get off the
that
internet
needs to
and
be
then go
cooled.
vegan. What?
No, and also what is his job? Because his job relies on AI and data centers and stuff. So if he doesn't agree with data centers, then he should stop working.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of companies now are utilizing AI and a lot of the different aspects of the company. So yeah, if you don't, the thing is, I do think that boycotting works. It's just, it depends on what the thing is you're boycotting. Because sometimes it's not dependent on your patronage. It's more dependent on other factors. And that's what is actually more supporting AI, is that it's going to replace workers. So I don't think us abstaining from using it is doing anything.
Exactly.
So if anything, I think it's a free tool right now that's not going to be free in the future. And I feel like it's almost imperative that people learn how to use it, because I do think it's coming no matter what. And
It's coming. No
yeah,
matter
and
what,
it's
yeah.
important. Right now, most programmers aren't even programming. They're talking to Claude or one of the AIs, and it's programming for them. They might have to go in and fix a few things, but that's what's happening right now. That's what programmers are doing. They're using AI to build everything. So it's, again, that's why I don't think us as activists making pictures or whatever we're doing with AI, I think it pales in comparison to what is actually happening and what's actually fueling AI to grow in its unhealthy way. Because it's not even AI that's the issue. It's the way it's being brought forward. So,
Utilized.
yeah, exactly. So it's not being brought as like a fair tool for everybody to use. It's being utilized as an evil tool to replace labor and not provide some kind of replacement. Like, I don't think people should do stupid jobs anyway. Like, who wants to go be a checker, right? That's so repetitive. It's fine to be around people. That's fine. But doing that job, I'm sure people don't care to get paid minimum wage to do some repetitive task over and over again that they don't get to grow in. So I don't mind jobs being replaced, but we need to have systems that protect us from not having healthcare and whatever, because we don't have socialized healthcare or other programs really. So our livelihoods are tied to work. So I think we should have AI, but we should also take care of our fellow residents, So
yeah, it's just another way for them to try and point out hypocrisy with us that doesn't exist, because what they don't understand is that the difference between us and them is that we're trying. We are trying to do the best we can do to avoid our contribution.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're not. They're just sitting back and saying, oh, well, what about this? What about that protein, B12, thousands of years ago? They're not even considering trying. At least we are.
Oh, hello, Riley. Oh, there's actually a couple people. I didn't realize I hadn't scrolled down. Riley. Oh, are you 18?
Greetings, fellow.
A child alien.
Definitely not. What planet does he come from?
Fidecia. Hey, gambler, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm over 18.
What year were you born?
2000. I know. My voice is high pitched. I understand. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'll go ahead. Are you vegan?
December 2000, if that helps.
Okay. Are you vegan?
No.
Well, first off, what is veganism? Maybe we'll start there first.
Sure. I've been in these lives before. And you've said it before. It's it's a philosophy, right? It's not a lifestyle or a diet. You believe that no animal should be harmed, whether it be for consumption
Not so much
or
harm,
product use.
not harm.
Well, right,
Yeah,
exploited, right? You say exploited.
exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So animal products or consumption or anything like that, animals should be free
Circuses,
to do what they want.
zoos,
Yeah, 100%.
vivisection,
Yeah.
leather, fur, feathers, scales.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I know. Mhm.
All right. So then why would someone who doesn't want to use those things, why would they come up onto TikTok and advocate for others to not do that? Like, why am I wasting my time?
Well, I don't think you're wasting your time. You have a message, you have a conviction, and you are speaking out about
Okay.
it.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
see
like,
anything
why
wrong
do you
with
think
that.
someone like me would do this?
Because you are vegan and you care about every single animal on the planet.
I don't.
Except hopefully mosquitoes. I hope you don't care about
I
mosquitoes.
actually do. I care about everybody that feels.
Why?
Because they care about themselves. That's why.
What?
Yeah. Did you choose to be born
Did
a
you know?
human?
Well, obviously
Did a
not. No one was
mosquito
born to
choose
be
to be
anything.
born a mosquito?
No, and I hope I never get reincarnated as a mosquito because I'll off myself.
Yeah, exactly. So shouldn't you make a world where it's fair for everybody? Granted, I understand.
No, I don't think fair and
Hold on.
equality.
If you're talking about self-defense, that's one thing. But a mosquito, there are other things we can do to tackle the issues of mosquitoes. There's even birth control if we really need to navigate those waters of managing their populations. But your perspective is what's important. Do you see animals as a someone or as a something? Are they here for you or are they here with you?
Are they here for me or are they here with me? And we're speaking about all animals across
course.
every metric. Okay. I would say not every animal is with me.
So some animals are literally here for you.
I wouldn't even say for me.
Well, that's the question.
It just so
That's what I'm
happens.
asking. Are animals here
Okay, and I
to be
understand
for
that.
you or are they just here with you?
I mean, do they live amongst us? Yes, I would
Are they
say
here
that.
for you to use? Is it your right to use their bodies for your benefit?
And the problem with that statement is I don't necessarily believe in rights.
So you don't think you have inherent rights to not be exploited?
Correct.
So you think it's fair for me to exploit you?
I never said it
Do
was
you
fair.
believe in human rights?
No, not necessarily.
Well, then we're done here.
I think the argument.
Don't believe in human rights. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to be harmed. That's all that really matters. Like, he doesn't want to be harmed, so why is he okay with other beings being harmed for him?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. His perspective, like he wants to be protected, but he's not for human rights.
Like, he does believe in rights. He knows he doesn't want to be harmed. He doesn't.
Yeah,
he
that's
knows
true. That
he
is
does
where
not
human
want to be
rights come
exploited.
from. It comes from you recognize in other humans their abilities to suffer and experience, and you're like, I have those similar abilities. I wouldn't want to be them. I wouldn't want to do that, or I wouldn't want to be them, so I shouldn't do that to them. If that's what your point is, maybe I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
Yeah, it's just I just want to be clear, everyone. Like, it's understandable that yes, when you see another human, I understand why humans relate with humans pretty quickly. We look similar. We have, very similar anatomies, right? We can surmise quickly that if I'm sentient, you're probably sentient based off of your behaviors. We've done the same thing with other animals. We've had professionals watch the behaviors of other animals. We know that they're sentient similar to us. They're having their own subjective emotions. They feel the emotion of pain, suffering, joy, right? And this is all that matters when it comes to respect. And it doesn't matter what you believe because the individual you're affecting still cares about what happens to themselves. That's all that matters, is that they care about what happens to themselves. All right. Y'all be goated. I'm not going to play around too with this stupid lying apathy BS either. Oh, I just don't care. Well, then I'm going to move on. I'm not here to make you not be racist. I can't do that. Hey, y'all, are you over 18?
No, and I'm eating pork right now.
You're eating your own flesh? Wow. That's wow. Because humans were called long pig. The kid said he's eating some long pig right now. MJD, are you over 18?
I am.
Are you vegan?
I'm not.
Can you tell me what you understand veganism to mean?
What do I understand veganism to
To
be?
mean? Yeah. What does veganism mean?
It is to me. I may be wrong, but I understand it to mean a lifestyle in which you try to not benefit or sustain yourself off of the death, suffering, or exploitation of animals. Is that fair?
It's more like I don't want to support exploitation of other sentient beings. So I look at every aspect of my life and eliminate anything that I can that demands someone's exploitation because I don't want to support that because I don't want to be exploited. Does that make sense?
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah. Okay. So do you
Yeah,
relate with
sure.
that?
So,
Do you have a similar principle?
yes and no. So I do eat meat, so I can't say like I completely
Well,
agree.
I mean more like
but
I mean more like do you have the principle that if you don't need to exploit your
Yeah, of
neighbor, you
course.
shouldn't?
Of course, and like, look, I am an animal lover. Like, I live kind of near farm areas. These are farm areas where people have them not for the purposes of processing. They're just more like pets,
Okay.
you know. And like, I love the animals. They're awesome to be around. Like, every creature is, you know, a gift from God. But I do want. I think a lot of the arguments that vegans have is, if we don't eat animals, how do we go about producing what we need to feed everybody?
So this is a practical issue and it has really nothing to do with your own personal choices. I can answer this, but I really want to get at the heart of why you think animals are a thing to be used when we have alternatives.
So that's what I mean is, what are the alternatives?
Plants.
And I'm open to new alternatives.
Plants.
I'm not a closed-minded person. Yeah, so, plants. So how would we go about getting enough plants to feed everyone and replacing the system we currently
Well, we
have?
would just have to come together as a people and decide how to do that. Like I'm one person, right? I'm not the president. I'm not the leader. I don't know how every system is connected, but I know that it's possible that we stop using animals and feed everyone plants. Because right now we're dedicating 83% of our agricultural land to raising animals. And if we stopped enslaving them, we could actually feed more humans with less land use. We could rewild the land equivalency of North America and Brazil combined while feeding 10 billion humans. We have 8 billion right now.
So I think while that makes logical sense, it doesn't make practical sense. And
How does
I
that
would
not
like to
make
discuss
practical
why.
sense? It's
And
possible to do this.
I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you why it doesn't. So the thing of it is that in order to produce enough plants to feed people, you wouldn't just need to double the amount of current
You're making
agricultural
up
by
numbers
agriculture. I
now.
mean,
You're
plant
lying,
output.
MJ. No,
No,
la
it's
la la
not.
la 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 la. Shut up. So we actually have what's called the trophic pyramid. It's what we teach kids in elementary school. We call it the food chain, right? Every time you take a step up, you're losing 90% of the energy that went into the tier below. So when a carnivore eats an herbivore, they lose 90% of the energy that went into them because the individual they're consuming is alive. They think, they move, that burns off energy. So a lot of what they consume gets burned off in heat. So it will always take more resources to exploit other animals. Always. So if we stopped farming and enslaving other animals, we could prioritize human food. We could feed the entire world population without animals.
What you're saying is scientifically not
If you're not
sound. It
gonna,
doesn't
Keith,
sound
do
like
you
you
want to
want
talk to
to
him? Does
listen.
anybody else want to talk to him? Because I'm not going to talk to a science
I mean,
denier.
Hold on, MJD. What empirical evidence are you going off of to make this assessment?
Sure, I'd love to discuss it. First off, I feel like I'm being cordial here. I'm letting everyone
That's fine.
speak. And,
Yeah, just what's the
sure.
empirical evidence you're operating
Yeah.
from?
So the thing of it is that let me know where our logic. Let me know where my logic breaks down here. Is that obviously we can't just double the
hold
amount
on.
of plants.
MJ,
Yeah.
hold on, really quickly. The statement that it's going to require more agricultural land than we use right now today is an empirical statement that should be based off of empirical evidence from like a study, right?
Yes.
So what study are you operating from to make that assessment?
I don't have the study on hand at the moment, but I'd be willing to send it to you.
Okay, can I offer a counter study?
Sure.
Okay, so the study you would want to look at, it's in the link tree in my bio. It's called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. This is the largest meta-analysis to date, meta-analysis being the highest tier of the hierarchy of scientific evidence.
No, it's
So
not.
it's the largest.
Meta-analysis is not the highest tier of hierarchy of
Yes,
analysis.
systematic review and meta-analysis are the highest tier of the hierarchy of scientific evidence.
Are you a scientist?
You don't have to be a scientist to understand that.
No, but you need to be a scientist to understand what meta-analysis is and where it stands.
Yeah, MJ, meta-analysis is studies of studies.
That's a very simplistic version of it. That's
That's
not
effectively
accurate.
what is happening.
Yes, that is a simplified version of what it is, but
It's
it
collated.
doesn't.
It's collated data to give them an idea of what they are looking at. And in this case, again, the study in question was an analysis of over 38,000 farms across 119 countries to extrapolate the data in question. So it wasn't just willy-nilly done. They literally analyzed more than 38,000 farms to extrapolate this data. So this isn't some like minuscule review. This is the largest review to date of this topic. So when they looked at it, in our current world, as it estimates right now, we use about 1.24 billion hectares for crops. And that's broken down into about 700 to 500 million, depending on which category we look at. So it's about 708 or so million hectares that go into crops to grow to feed to humans directly. And then we have about like 530 or something that goes into crops that are grown to feed livestock. So that's 1.24 altogether is the totality of that. And then we have 2.89 billion hectares that goes to pasture land to raise these livestock animals on. So that's 4.13 altogether for all of that, and 1.24 specifically for crops. When they analyzed all the different dietary patterns that would basically exist out there, and part of that was feeding the world fully vegan and plant-based, we would only need about 1 billion hectares to do that. And that's easy to understand when you understand that despite using 80% of all of our agricultural land right now, animal agriculture only gives us about 17% of the global calorie supply. It's not an overwhelming feeder of the populace. It's a net negative, generally speaking, when it comes to feeding people. Because of the energy loss in the trophic scale.
Sure. So a question that I would want to say, so you would say that we wouldn't need to increase plant agriculture at all if we eliminated livestock. We could just keep plant agriculture exactly what it is today.
It would actually reduce. That was the assessment. We don't need the 1.24 billion. We need 1 billion. We currently use 1.24 billion. So, the estimates from the study would be that we need 1 billion.
So I would say one of the problems with this is that one of the problems with invoking the concept of the trophic scale, talking about energy, which is the main currency that we're talking about when it talks about fueling people, is that not all energy or calories are made equal. You do need protein. So right now, the percentage of agriculture...
62% of the global protein supply also comes from plant agriculture.
Can I enslave you for your protein?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
May I enslave you for your protein?
It seems like me and this gentleman are having a talk about the science of the numbers.
You can't answer my question and it hurts your fifis. Look, I know that it's fun to talk about the environment and like stuff that's really far away, but you directly cause 100 to maybe 300 animals every year to have a knife dragged across their throat because you're not vegan. So what I'm talking about is not the environment. I really don't care about the environment as much as I care about sentient rights. So someone who wants to live has more rights than the environment. Okay, I don't think someone should enslave you just because it makes the environment better. Okay, I don't think someone should enslave you because you have protein in your body. They can get protein from plants. So the question is, instead of you trying to think that you are going to change the entire world because you're going to switch from someone's body to tofu, think about like you are going to make only the difference to the animals that don't get subjected to that system. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter about the worldly effects. We can come together as a people to help each other. You don't need to demand someone's exploitation.
I understand what you're saying. So right now, me and this gentleman, we're having a conversation.
Look, I don't really care to be talked to like I'm a child. This is my life. And if you have a problem with it, you can go check your pants, right? You can go be an adult, pull up the big boy pants, and you can talk to us all together. or you can cry about the metas of the conversation and keep talking about things that you don't have control over. Because all I've heard you whine about is the environment and things that are larger. When you can just do the simple thing of moving your hand or walking down a different aisle, it's really that simple. And yet you're still crying like a little baby about your choices, and you can't even listen. All you can do is focus on the button. You're just like a lot of egotistical people, so focused on your pleasure, not so much focused on the other person. It's really terrible. So I hope you learn. Maybe go watch the movie Dominion. Go look at what directly you're demanding, okay? I could not tolerate it. Keith, you did great, by the way. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I just could not handle him yapping forever about the environment when really that's not even the issue here. The issue is that he's demanding someone's exploitation. It's just driving me nuts. He was just gish galloping and yip yapping.
Yeah, I just wanted him to like
admit that he was
ascertain
wrong.
that, like, first of all, this is such a non-issue. We know empirically it's such a non-issue.
Keith, how can you know that? You're
And then,
not a
like,
scientist.
now that that's been cleared up. Well, yeah, are you a scientist? Like, like, if it makes you feel any better, I'm an engineer, so I do still need to know how to read like scientific evidence. So, like, what are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, but you're not a
Anyways,
scientist.
You're not a scientist, though.
yeah, but I'm not specifically a scientist, so I guess like GG, whatever.
I mean, I don't understand. I know if common sense were common, everyone would have it. I get it. But I want to know how people think that we are right now able to feed over 92 billion animals, but we would never be able to feed 10 billion humans without those animals. How does that work? How do people not understand?
It's just he wanted to like throw. I mean, to 40-year-old vegan's point in the comments, like he wanted to throw around that like I'm not a scientist. I don't know what I'm talking about. And I mean, do you understand the hierarchy of scientific evidence?
It's telling me to
and,
remove you,
meta-analysis
Keith.
and systematic.
Keith's live content contains
wow.
themes that may find uncomfortable. It may.
That's so
wow,
ridiculous.
so he just did that to you?
So me talking about science is apparently
I'm just
worthy of
gonna
a restriction.
ignore it.
Whatever. I'll drop it.
Oh my gosh. It's just sending me all these warnings. Wow, that person was really, their fifis were really hurt. I'm gonna be ending it after this anyway, so you guys just say whatever you're gonna say, because it doesn't matter at this point. I'm sorry, Keith. That's terrible that he did that. What an idiot. Yes, you're an idiot who was up here. You're a butthole. You're an idiot. And Keith, where'd you go? Did Keith drop?
I was just about to say
You
that.
said he was gonna drop.
No, Keith,
You're a
I wanted you to stay
butthole.
up here. Aw, lame. I was gonna be like, stick it to the system.
Let's all give Keith.
Aw.
Let's give Keith a big hug.
Hugs and W's in the chat for Keith. Keith is amazing. Go follow Keith. Go follow Tofu Whisperer. He goes live on that channel. I think he goes live on Keith as well. Wow, yeah, that person was so sensitive. That's crazy. Keith literally said nothing. I was the only one that said things. I should be the one that has the warning, not Keith. I hope that doesn't affect your actual account, Keith. That's wild. Well, does anybody else want to say anything? Any last words before I end the live?
Everyone go vegan.
Yes.
I was just about to say that.
That's a good one.
What Landon
always
said.
solid. It's always good to say go vegan. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, actually, real quick. Keep talking. Keep talking. Go ahead. I was just going to show my backgrounds. Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I love that.
That's fantastic to hear.
I love seeing when kids. Yeah, I love kids are sometimes way smarter. There's a lot of smart kids.
Hell yeah.
out
Well,
there.
it's because they haven't been indoctrinated yet. They haven't been fully brainwashed by society quite yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them caught the reality of it and were traumatized by it too.
Yeah.
So they at an early age realized it.
Oh, you know, it's crazy. My family, they're not vegan, but I did get my vegan values from them, you know, caring about other animals. There were other incidences that would happen where I didn't understand that animals, you know, feel like maybe I was like running at a bird or something. I can't remember like a specific example, but I do remember my parents being like, don't be mean to animals. Like, what if that was you? What do you want that done to you? I was like, then as an adult and I'm telling them about veganism, Oh, hold on a second. Someone is spamming. Then why does it support being an omnivore? Okay, well you don't need to spam that. But anyway, yeah, my vegan values came from my family, even though they're not vegan. And it's interesting when, as an adult, you're telling them about eat your veggies and animals feel. How would you feel if you were them? And and then they're being the childish ones, being like, "It's my taste pleasure. I want it."
Well, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of children don't understand what they don't understand a cheeseburger used to be a cow. Adults understand that. They just don't think about it, right? Because but kids really don't understand that. So I think children are more horrified when they learn that,
I agree. I think they are. I think they're also often told to just suck it up and don't cry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's because a lot of children, not all children, but a lot of children grow up and say, "Oh, food comes from the grocery store."
Yeah.
Yep.
And so their eyes are closed.
Yeah, they don't understand. All they see
Sadly.
are things on a shelf. They don't understand. I mean, I honestly remember
Mhm.
even as a kid
Oh.
seeing whole fish in the freezer aisle, and I honestly didn't have an empathy for them because it's just so normal to see these body parts. You just see them as objects. You don't see them as things.
Exactly.
So it's not until you
Exactly.
realize or you're around them, you get to interact with them when they're alive, or you see them in their natural states on like documentaries and stuff, and you learn that they actually feel. They have families. They care about things. You're like, wow, what are we doing? Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, I'm going to announce real quick. I was flashing that anti-animal use, I believe, will be live on Friday. I'm not 100%, to be honest, because we're voting, but I don't think everyone voted quite yet. So I think it'll be Friday. Keep an eye out on anti-animal use for Friday. And then Vegan Stoner Lady, I'll be out on the street as well, asking people about animal rights and if they're living in alignment with their own values. And that'll be Saturday, I think. If anti-animal use changes, then I'll be Friday. So either way, just keep an eye on anti-animal use and Vegan Stoner Lady this weekend, Friday and Saturday. And yeah, and then I'll be live again here on Monday. So with that said, please follow all the vegans that are on my panel right now. We've got Life, we've got Landon, we've got Stasia. Please go follow all three of them. They go live, or some of them go live. Stasia, did you go live?
Yeah, I don't go live at the moment. but
We'll
I
still
will.
follow them. They go on other vegans' lives. You'll see other vegans. You can ask them directly their questions. All knowledgeable vegans.
Yep.
So please go follow them all. Also go follow Keith. I see Keith dropped down earlier. So please go follow Keith as well. All the vegans that we had up here were great. I see David out there. Yasmin, I see you too. Dubs in the chat for the vegans. Go follow Sarah. Oh my God, Sarah, you're amazing. Sarah's been donating the hearts and such today. I really appreciate you, Sarah. You do so much for the team.
Sarah, you are such an amazing support.
Yeah, you really are.
You're awesome.
You really are. I see you in other lives. You're amazing. Thank you for being so active, really.
Yeah, she's always really cool in my lives as well.
Aw, Sarah, you're amazing. I need to make you like a little special badge or something. I need to make everyone a badge. I don't know how to do that, but I want everybody to have like, anyway. Yap. I will talk to you guys later. You have a great vegan day, okay?
Thank you for having
Heck
me.
yeah.
You might find somebody. You might find somebody in the friend group that can make the badges.
Oh, okay. I will.
I don't know. It's just a thought, like in case somebody here can do it.
Someone reach out to me if they know how to do
We
it,
should.
because I would love to know how to, because I really do want to recognize everybody that does such hard work. Yeah, Sarah rules. Exactly. Dubs in the chat for Sarah. All right, guys.
Everybody have a great afternoon, evening.
too.
Yeah, have a great rest of
You
the day,
too.
everyone.
Have a great vegan day, guys. I'll see you later.
If you're not vegan,
Go
go
vegan. Do it now. Aw, that was amazing. My numbers are still loading in. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's a little lower view count. It's only 900. Usually I get at least 1,000 on TikTok. Well, I still felt like we had a lot of good conversations. So, oh, I covered you guys up. I can't see you. There you are. It's not my business how it's made. It's called capitalism. Actually, a big part of that is your business. In fact, I find it weird that so many companies can hide what they're doing. It's like, if I'm going to give you money, I want to make sure. Holy crap, has it been cut off like that? Oh, no, it's because this popped out. That's why. Okay, I see now. I was like, oh, no, it's all crooked. You do. You now go vegan and you live vegan forever. You're welcome, Jason Goot. Yeah, that's not okay. So what we do is most people don't like to feel like they're a bad person. Most people like to feel like they're a good person, that they're consistent. So when you realize that you wouldn't, like when you say out loud, I'm not for human slavery. I don't want to be exploited because I still care about what's happening to me. You should be vegan. If you demand that respect, you should be reflecting that respect to others, right? They feel they want to live. They don't want to suffer. They want to do what they want to do. They want to be free. So you don't have to support someone's exploitation. You can live vegan. Look up the Vegan Daily Dozen if you don't know where to start. It's just an easy checklist to make sure you get everything you need in a day. Watch Dominion. It's free on YouTube. You can also go to my website, antianimaluse.org. But just look up Dominion on YouTube, Dominion 2018. And it is kind of long, but it's important to be informed. Watch the whole thing. Ask yourself, was I okay with any of that? Do I really want to give my money to those people? And understand that when you do see things that seem wrong to you, understand that that's inherent in that industry. And it's also just inevitable when you view someone as an object. You're going to get frustrated. A lot of workers that work in these industries are underpaid and overworked. They get frustrated when the animals are stubborn because they don't want to, they want to do what they want to do. So the humans get upset and they push them, they beat them, they get them to be submissive, to do what they need to do so the human can get through their work. So that's why that happens, and that's why it's allowed. It's because they're a product that needs to be pushed through the system faster. And if you don't want to support that, you have to stop looking at individuals that you can benefit from. Stop looking at them as a resource for you to use and see them more as the individual that they are, that they're using their resources. They need those things. They need them more than you do, in fact. So cows are people. They have personalities. They have uniqueness. Some of them are shy. Some of them are extroverted. Some of them are more, nervous than others. They're a person. And just because our human-centric definitions keep it very species specific, that doesn't mean that they don't care what's happening to themselves. Regardless of what definition a human writes down, these animals care about what happens to themselves. And they're more aware than you think they are. We can't even fully measure their full cognitive abilities. We can only measure some of them. We can't even measure all of humans' abilities. Exactly. Why cause additional suffering when it isn't necessary? Congratulations, Jake. I have been vegan a long time. That's amazing. Yeah, you don't need to appeal to futility. I'm sure in the time of slavery, it felt pretty hopeless and pointless to stand up for the enslaved people because it had been so normalized for so long. But sometimes doing the right thing isn't always the most obvious, easiest thing, right? Sometimes you do have to go against the grain a little bit. But I'm telling you, from my experience, going vegan has been so easy. I've not experienced any issues. The only issues I came up against is when I started speaking up for the animals. Yeah, exactly. Start with an open mind and a desire to learn. Because really what it comes from is you learn this atrocity is happening and you feel that overwhelming feeling of I can't save that individual. But then you learn there are practical things you can do in your day-to-day life that'll actually completely omit your support of those things. In fact, some individuals won't even be born because you're not supporting that system. So they won't be forced into that system that grinds them into nothing. It's crazy. As a vegan, you have so much more power. You eliminate, environmental issues. You eliminate a lot of human abuse issues, but you're mainly not demanding someone's exploitation. That's so huge. I heard a ting, and so I was like, ting, ting. All right. Well, I'm going to call it there. I really appreciate everyone being here. Just a great audience, and I don't know, it's kind of fun to talk to YouTube afterwards. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you so much. Really, that's going to help us a lot. Thank you for your comments and your thoughts. Although that one person that gave a bunch of money, I don't even know if I accept their money if I delete their comment. Like, I don't know if that even works. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for keeping the chat safe. And thank you for being active for the animals, because that's really what it's all about. We need to get them liberated now. Like, it's just been too long. It needs to happen now. Everyone have a great vegan day, and I will see you on Friday and Saturday. Okay? Anti-animal use and vegan stoner lady. I'll see you then. See ya. Thank you, Savvy. See you, David. All right. Bye. Tato, I see you. All right. See you guys.